Yeah, bitch, magnets.
All right, here we go. See what happens. I'm not prepared.
What's up, Gilbert? It's all choppy as fuck.
Have you felt it?
Stupid Facebook.
Facebook sucks.
Here, I'll just get off here.
Hello, what have we here?
I don't think it's that.
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Oh, it's slow again. I'll fix
Is
it
your
later.
internet shitty?
C3 penis face?
No.
Mine is.
Hello there.
Looking. Found someone you have, I would say.
No, because Twitch and YouTube seem to be fine.
The force be with us. Fucking A.
Facebook just
Good day, Galaxy Rogue Squadron podcast. I am Mopar.
I'm Commander Cody.
We've got our next time here. Next time.
Hey, next time.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
I think that's your greeting every time.
Probably.
What up?
What up? Let's drink some beer.
Next time showed up to the studio with beer galore. Like 24 beer galores.
All of it.
We have a beautiful, sexy relationship with Actual Brewing, so I'm geeked about it.
The official Photon is the official beer of the Rogue Squadron podcast.
Until
true.
our actual official beer comes out.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah, well, we make this year round, so we'll keep giving it to you.
That's perfect.
Well, we have
I
our
love it.
official beer, and then we'll have our official seasonal beer.
You'll have
Official,
your
actual-
own made beer. Brewed in collaboration, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However you want to label it. What's up, everybody? How's it going?
So I do want to
Episode-
give a shout out, even though we just got done talking about them, but I do want to thank Chris and Jonathan for helping us actually
brew an actual beer.
the actual beer.
At Actual Brewing.
Yeah, in Columbus. So
Yeah. So you've been hearing us rant and rave about us. We're going to put out a beer for the release of Rogue One. And we couldn't do that without actual brewers that knew what they were doing. So they made that happen.
And if you are a beer fanatic, they are part of the Ale Trail. So, like I said, they know what the fuck they're doing. So every one of their beers, I mean, it's astounding.
Yeah.
Chris over there knows what the fuck he's doing. So
And John.
also.
The beer.
We've dealt with Chris so much that I always forget John exists. But John does exist indeed.
He's there too.
Chris is a lot more talkative than Jonathan's more, I don't know.
Get down to business and make the beer.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Hops.
Yeah.
All right. What the fuck happened?
Oh, man, dude. 15 days to Rogue One.
So we're planning our
Geeking
Rogue
out,
One premiere event. If you haven't heard,
You've heard. Please.
Gateway Theater at
Gateway
Ohio
Film Center.
Gateway Film Center.
Gateway Theater Film Center.
Gateway Movie Theater. On
Gateway Video Place.
or near Ohio State campus.
Yeah.
We're going to be there December 15th for the midnight release at 7 p.m. For Rogue One, but we're going to be throwing a party from 3 to midnight, 4 to
whatever.
midnight. We're going to have local artists. We're going to have some games, giveaways. Obviously, we're going to be releasing our Star Rogue Squadron podcast beer.
With actual.
We tried to make it red tinted, and we were going to call it Rouge One. I think Chris came up with that.
We agreed with Rouge One. That's what
That's
we're going to
amazing.
package it as. Yeah,
That's perfect.
It's technically a red IPA. It's a lot maltier than your normal IPA, but it still
You've
has a
tried
lot of
it?
those really but
Then don't
Come on, man.
lie
You
to
can't
him.
classify it yet.
yeah. Well, okay, so the only thing that's happened is it was just put on dry hops. But beyond, so that was the most recent change to it. But we see what the color is and how the color is going to end. And so I'll also have to wait till the beer's done. But we can kind of predict with formula and how our system works as what the beer is actually going to be and what it's going to taste like.
a refractometer.
Right.
Use one of them.
But yeah,
I
they
did.
did.
I learned all about
I
it.
didn't, but they did.
Yeah. We used to use that for antifreeze in vehicles, and it would let you know the boiling point of the antifreeze.
Yeah.
So I actually have a refractometer.
Interesting.
So as you know, beer is 50% science, 50% art. So the science allows us to figure out what the fuck we're making ahead of time. So we know it's basically going to be a red IPA. We know the amount of hops and malt we use, the kind of malt, the color it's basically going to be, and then the alcohol percentage.
Well, ours was slightly higher than they expected.
Yeah.
I
Which
think.
is always good.
Which is fine. Yeah, I think they were.
Beautiful.
We were
Everyone
shooting
has a better
for.
time then.
Right.
We were shooting for around 6, and it's going to be closer to 7, 7.5.
I think it's gonna be like 6.5 to 7.
Okay, then very drinkable.
Perfect.
As long as it's not 12, because we everyone knows what happened last episode because we had a
Got
couple
madness.
12s. I forget what
Let's take this off.
who was it? Who
New
made
Holland.
it? Was it New Holland? I thought it was like a
Yeah,
beta.
probably.
Yeah, it was
New Holland does big ass beers.
Pilgrim's Dole.
Oh, it's a good beer.
It was good, but it was loopy.
The wheat
Yeah.
wine,
It got us
super
loopy, I should
boozy
say.
and sweet and
Yeah,
yum.
There's a lot there.
it was fun.
You drank the whole 4-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we got fucked.
You got fucked.
Yeah, just like
was
doing a
interesting.
podcast, we've had like 30 beers during like our early episodes, 3.5 hours, and we're sitting here with a 4-pack, and we're hammered. We were just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't
Behind
do
the
it.
eyes. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
What's this thing? I don't know.
Where am I? So awesome.
But it
Well,
was fun.
and we do want to give another shout out to Actual with their Photon, what we're drinking right now. Very drinkable, 3.2% alcohol. So it's very light, but extremely drinkable and delicious.
So good. I
Yeah.
can't describe enough. You have to have one. You have to drink one.
So if you're
Cherish it.
in
Sip on it.
Columbus and you're not a huge beer fanatic, this is one that you could just pick up and you'll most likely like.
This could be a
Best light
gateway
beer
craft
you'll
beer.
ever have.
Yeah.
Period.
It's a gateway beer.
Yeah.
Gateway beer.
Yeah.
But you guys are
Gateway Film
beer
Center.
fanatics now. I mean, you've had hundreds of beers just by doing this podcast alone.
Yes.
And you would say
Very
you love
fortunate.
this beer, you like this beer, right?
good.
So
You know,
you don't have to be like a noob into craft beer to really enjoy it. It's
I
fucking
taste-
delicious.
a lot more malted barley in this than I have ever in any other light beer.
Yeah.
It's because they usually use like other ingredients like corn or rice flour, whereas this is 100% Pilsner malt barley,
It just tastes like we're eating the barley
pretty much.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
plus alcohol and cold and
I love
delicious.
it. So every time you show up at 24, I'll be happy.
Do it.
It's all good. So, housekeeping items. This is episode 85. We are the Rogue Squadron podcast. You know that. Check us out.
Social
Instagram,
media.
social media, blah, 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 usual thing. Mopar.
Rogue
You know what
Squad
it is.
Pod.
At
Yes.
Rogue Squad Pod. One new announcement, though, besides that, is that we've been working on an actual mobile app for a while. And it's been out, and now we're ready to release it to the world and let you know about it. So just go to iTunes, type in Rogue Squadron Podcast. It'll pop right up. You can find all of our... It's free. You can find our links
You want
on it.
do it right now. I'm gonna do it.
Pictures.
Rogue.
You can
Oh, that's a T.
watch the live stream from the app itself. So if Facebook or YouTube are giving you problems, you can just go to the app.
Oh my god, it's on there.
There it
Second
is.
thing on the search list.
Here it is.
I'll show
Rogue
you while
Squadron podcast.
while it loads live. Oh,
Well, here it is on the whatever it's called.
I don't know if they can see what you're doing.
So
App Store.
there's the front page of it. So we're pretty proud of it. Like Commander said, you can do the live stream. It has all of our episodes on it. Once we get back into the merch shit, that's all going to be all through that. And if you're showing up to our live events, we're going to be posting pictures of the live events, all the extra bullshit that happens there, all the media stuff. Like I said, pictures, videos, clips is all
check
going to
it
be
out.
posted there. Clips. So just go do that. We're going to give you a second because we're going to drink some beer.
I'm almost done with this one already.
Hey, I know that picture.
So real quick, since we didn't get to it last episode or the episode before, I want to do like a 30-second Doctor Strange. Have you seen it?
Yes.
What did you think?
Oh, it's so good.
Yes,
So
it was
good.
fucking awesome.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe had kind of gotten a little stale for me. I mean, they were all really
Agreed.
good movies, but
Yeah.
like it didn't bring anything new to the table for me. Maybe because I get bored easily, but like it was nice. This new character, the story, the introduction, and it was a totally different take on sort of the same like learn a character, see who his nemesis is, and they get in a big fight. Like this was a lot more of like. Almost Batman-esque, sort of like find himself. What the fuck
Yeah.
am I doing? Like I was a badass and now I suck.
I liked it.
You know, and the visuals were unbelievable.
So good.
It was. We talked about it briefly, but the idea of his power is so cool compared to just a Hulk, who he has his power done. That's
Sort
his
of-
power.
Yeah, it's sort of in.
It doesn't fluctuate. There's no.
Doesn't
He can't
change.
learn anymore. He's the
Can't
Hulk.
advance. Yeah.
Period. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Doctor
it's
Strange can.
intangible too, which is really cool. And
Yeah.
it kind of plays with the idea of multiple universes and all that, which is
Well, that opens everything else up. And I've mentioned this before, but in the Civil War comic, there was something about why Doctor Strange wasn't involved. And it basically said, I could just change everything with a snap of my fingers. And before the movie, everyone's like, we just thought, who is Doctor Strange and why can he just change shit? And then we see the movie and he's like, he can change
And
shit.
why the fuck
okay?
is his name Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, true.
And then plus you got the Infinity Stone introduction is like, hey, this is a whole thing about the Marvel universe that they always put together, and so I think there's going to be a bigger story arc over the next like 5 years or something that they're really going to get into the Infinity Stones. You're going to get Guardians getting involved with the Avengers and everybody, and it's going to be a beautiful storyline.
Everything's gonna culminate
Getting
and
goosebumps
explode.
talking about it.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job with, because I always struggle with when superheroes go up against like mighty god beings. Like, what's his face in it? I always forget his name. The big evil guy in Doctor Strange. And I always struggled with how
Dormammu.
Dormammu.
I've come to bargain.
Right. But I always struggled with like, how is this little simpleton superhero gonna beat that? And they legitimized it to me. It was
Yeah.
just like, that makes so much sense. He pickled him.
Pickled him.
I mean, he threw
can
him
pickle
into
that.
like a time pickle. He's like, fuck you. And then he killed him and said, fuck you again. And
I've never
just
heard it called a pickle before.
Yeah, that's
threw him
just
in like a
pretty
baseball pickle. Like, he couldn't change anything. You're back and
Sure.
forth.
Sort of.
Pickle in the middle.
Like a Marvel pickle.
Baseball pickle.
Pickled Santa.
Baseball pickle.
No, so I gave it a 10 out of 10. The reason being, I don't know if you could make that any better.
Well, probably not, but
That's a good point.
That's-
That's a good evaluation.
And I'm not saying it was a perfect movie, but I really, at this point, especially in the Marvel universe, how they challenged their own ways, went a different direction, and perfected it all in the same movie. And you're like,
Yep.
That was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'd probably say 9 1/4.
9 in
Nine
portions.
1 1/4 portion.
What do you think out of 10, maybe?
9.5, 10. I don't know. It's a solid movie.
13.
Really,
I haven't
Fuck it.
like it's above the point where the number matters. It's just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
If it was a beer rating
Like if you're
system, it would be
if you're
3.
gonna like compare it to I don't know Pulp Fiction or the other Marvel movies or whatever that you think were amazing, like who the fuck cares? The movie was incredible. It deserves like top tier, easy.
Yeah.
That is
I
an
haven't heard
interesting
any bad
point
things.
about rating systems, though. It's like it gets to the point where, like, if it's amazing enough that you want to tell everybody to go to see it, why do you need to
If
put
you see the movie a
numeric
second
value
or a
on it?
third time, then like right after you saw it, you're like, yeah, I'll go see that again.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that's-
I feel like a lot of people, when they put it in a rating system, 10 is untouchable. Why is it there then? Why don't we just do 1 to 9? And then 9 can be untouchable. So I feel like, with everything said,
a good point.
that's deserved. That movie.
Because nobody ever gives it a 10,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
So that's why I'm breaking the fucking mold.
I like it.
I like it.
And especially to say a nerd comic superhero movie that can be seen and enjoyed by anyone, no matter what you like, no matter
Yeah.
what you're into, if you know absolutely nothing about the other Avengers or anything.
Origin story. You don't have to know anything before. You don't have to know anything after. You could take that movie and just put it there, and it's perfect.
It have a lot of elements too, man. It had a brand new introduction of a type of power, the magic thing. It had like ancient mysteries and stuff. It had martial arts.
Yeah.
It had like the redemption story of Stephen Strange himself. Little bit of romance. Some combat, a little bit. And then, can I have another one? More beer, please, man?
Yeah.
And then it had, one of my favorite parts was the fucking cloak. When the cloak,
Yeah, a little
spoiler
bit
if you
like
haven't
Harry
seen it,
Potter.
but when the cloak popped out of the case and just grabbed the guy by the head and started beating the shit out of him, that was one of my favorite parts. But yeah, all around fantastic. And if you haven't seen it, go see it amazingly right now. That didn't make any sense.
It's amazingly
Make it happen.
strange.
Make
Strange
it happen.
podcast.
Very strange.
So, with next time here, we're going to be quickly getting into the multiple beer reviews. So,
Well, you just opened another photon. Shit.
well,
because it'll be your palate cleanser, water.
Well,
This
This
will
is
take
your
the
water
place of the
today.
pretzels for this one.
Pretzels?
This will take the place of pretzels.
No,
Cleansing my
this is
palate?
actually like thirst quenching. Fuck
gotcha.
pretzels. I love
Okay,
pretzels.
okay,
But fuck
all right,
pretzels.
all right.
so
This is way better.
Let me go through the topics and the news discussions that we're going to be getting to
Yeah, slide those glasses over here.
here.
Pour us out, man.
Well, first off, before we get into this beer, I do want to mention that Jackie O's Brewery has come out with a coffee stout called Java the Hutt.
Java the Stout.
Yeah, you're right. Jesus. Java the Stout. The one thing that I saw was the can, and it had, I got a picture here, but it's Java basically riding a TIE bomber, or a TIE Advanced. But they keep it very generic. He just looks like a pile of shit in the spaceship.
You know, I'll show it to you, mother. It's not gonna focus. Oh, you can kind of see it. It's amazing to me though, because I look at that and I know exactly what it is.
The Death Star's blowing up in the background.
So does that not violate like their licensing or something?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, Jabba might not be trademarked. There's like
guarantee it
certain
is.
things. I don't know. You're gonna spend money to trademark Jabba? You can't even make toys out of him.
Okay,
He's got to
so
be like
one
an
thing
entire
that
base.
You gotta remember is the name of the beer is Java the Stout, so it makes the pun or the connection without actually using Java's name.
Yep.
Art's a little more like visual art is a little bit more lenient on what copyright is. Now, if it was just a picture of Java on it.
said
It
Java.
might be, it might be like subject to some kind of litigation, but because it's parody and because it's only a part of a greater picture, they're probably gonna not run into any issues.
So, yeah, I'm excited to try that. I've only seen the can, so I thought I'd bring it up. And Jackie O's has always done a great fucking job.
Everything I've ever
3
done.
stars out
everything.
of 3.
They're
So
out
good.
of Athens, Athens, Ohio.
Yeah.
So, if they are available around your area, go check it out. We're not going to get to these topics yet. We're going to get to the beer, but I do want to mention them. Carrie Fisher came out with a book.
And we can't forget.
We're going to talk about that briefly. I do want to talk briefly about the new book Catalyst, which is the preamble to Rogue One.
Preamble.
There is
prequel.
preamble,
The prequel to the prequel.
the epilogue
Sequel to the prequel.
to the
Prequel
sequel.
to the sequel.
There is a Rogue One theory-ish thing that I found. I liked it on a general sense. I liked it a lot on a general sense. And then when it broke it down into specifics, I was like, shit on this. No, but I do like it on a general sense. And then the last thing I do want to say is a character that we'll be talking about. His name's Sate Pestage. And you might know that name.
No.
Possibly.
Sounds like a fucking herb.
Sate, S-A-T-E, Pestage, just like how it
Sounds
sounds.
like a pasta dish.
He was introduced in the
Does.
Tarkin book, and he's in Catalyst. So that's why I do want to mention him, and we will talk to him about. We're gonna bring him on. He's
Hey,
gonna be Sate, what's up?
Fuck out of here. Where's
Pestage.
my Tarkin book? I don't see
It's
it.
fine. It's fine. We're gonna get into the beer review.
It's
but
not fine, Mopar.
That's what's coming up after the beer review. So we're gonna dive into
And it's
this.
not just a beer review. If you've heard any episodes with our buddy next time, it's an extravaganza of things that we've never had before that we're probably not prepared for. And actually, what?
Not an extravaganza, an extravaganza.
Put a
Extravaganza.
J in there. Extravaganza, if you will. But yeah, we're probably not prepared for this. Last time you brought a bunch of bourbon barrel
I
madness.
only brought one this time.
Well, would
And
you
one
already
tasted
pour?
like
It's called
garbage,
Best Star. This is our most recent beer made from actual. It's a
okay.
farmhouse IPA.
Oh my god, I love
farmhouses now too.
This is
And it has no label. Is this like a
it was
test
from draft.
pilot?
No, we just don't bottle it or anything. So this
Oh,
is this.
gotcha.
I just poured this in there from draft.
Okay,
Like a
only
growler.
available in the tap room.
Yeah. There's a few kegs floating around the city, but it'll be gone in like a week or two. So
Very cool.
So no name,
it's called the
Exclusivity.
Warehouse IPA
warehouse.
because we make it in a warehouse, not a farmhouse.
I've had this. Wait,
No.
isn't this what they were pulling out of the taxation tank?
Oh, you
Oh,
might
yeah.
have had it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is what it's carbonated though.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I was
that's the
waiting for that
difference.
too.
It was
when we went to
delicious.
brew the beer last week, this was getting ready to be done. They gave us a
Yeah.
little taste
Oh my god.
before the carbonation
Yeah, so
was
this
added.
beer
so.
is. I've been drinking only this every time
It's
I
delicious.
get it in front of me. Yeah, it's so 100%. I think citra
100%
hops,
ABV.
100% ABV. Yeah, no water at all. It's just straight. It's straight alcohol. Citra hops give it a lot of citrusy, grapefruit flavors, and then the saison yeast we use is a lot of estery qualities, so you get a little bit of tropical fruit and bubble gumminess to it. Super
Yeah.
easy to drink, incredibly tasty. Just Fucking
Warehouse
one of the
ale.
best beers we've ever made.
Cut up.
Roast.
Doot.
Do they ever say cheers in Star Wars at all? Does anyone ever cheers?
No, they say like Luke. No, they don't.
Okay.
No one ever drinks. You see Obi-Wan's in the bar all the time, but he's not actually drinking. Does he take a
They do in the cartoons. They drink a bunch. Well,
Do
not
they
a
really?
Bunch, but a little bit.
know.
I'm hammered. 100% ABVD.
Pissed.
BDBD.
This is really good, man. That little bubblegum hint at the end really
Yeah.
makes a big difference. It's tasty.
It kind of cuts the bitterness and just. If you don't like IPAs, drink this anyway because it's fucking delicious.
That sounds terrible to me, but it is so delicious. Like I'm drinking a beer. What's the aftertaste? Bubblegum. And you're like, that's a terrible beer.
Well,
You're
this
like,
doesn't
no,
taste
but
like an
fucking drink it.
IPA, so if you don't like IPAs, then you wouldn't.
I
you
don't
wouldn't
think
know
this
any
tastes
better.
like an IPA.
No, you wouldn't know anymore. Any better.
That's just a good beer. Yeah. It tastes great with the carbonation. It gives a little. It's a
Yeah.
lot like.
It pulls that citrusy out
Yeah,
a
it
little
does.
bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting on my tongue.
Why you guys make such good beer?
Yeah,
I wish I knew. Chris and Jonathan are awesome. They do such a good job, and you guys are welcome that I'm not in the brewery making the beer.
Not yet.
I just bring it to you.
You will be.
No. I will not end up there if we keep making good beer. If we start making shit beer, yeah, I'll go hell. That's fine. But
Is there like a program in
Standard.
breweries where you kind of start off in the tap room and then you work your
some
way
breweries
up?
do like part-time help, which is like 90% cleaning and then just learning the rest of the stuff and doing like bitch work, which, you know, there's the trade-off. If you do bitch work, you get to learn from people who are really experienced.
And
then
drink.
there's some college programs and there's some standalone classes that universities will do. There are master's programs in brewing technology, and there are home brewers. That's what a lot of people learn, is that they start home brewing and buy kits and learn from lots
Right.
and lots of mistakes.
Right.
Just like, you know, a scientist, it's like you test every hypothesis. So
Well,
like
Chris-
with beer, you just test everything and you learn what works.
Yeah, take the recipe and tweak it as you go.
It's just like baking. You're gonna fuck it up a couple times,
Exactly,
and then
yeah.
you just
And that's why
perfect
it's
it.
like half science and half art. It's
Yeah.
because there's a lot of numbers and things you can figure out, but
And
a lot
half
of it is
magic.
like,
Magic is low. I can't do this.
3 halves.
I think this beer is mostly magic because it's so good.
That was fantastic, man.
Jesus.
It's very bubbly.
I didn't have a. You didn't give me. You gypped me on my fucking pour, man.
I try to make them even. Your beer shaped,
okay.
your glass is shaped weird. I don't know how to pour.
This is a
it.
normal
Like,
glass, goddammit.
Trigger.
Pint glass. It's okay. It was delicious.
Good.
I loved it. I'm gonna give it 3 stars.
So as next time gets his
3 stars.
giblets together, we can start chatting about. Oh yeah, this is 3 stars.
I agree.
Okay. It's just like 3 done. It's amazing.
This beer couldn't get any better, and if we don't make it again, it's a travesty.
Yep.
I'm blowing something up if we don't make it. Death Star.
Death Star. We brought
Speaking
that.
of.
That's the last beer of the night.
Oh, you're saving that for last?
Yeah.
That's probably
Okay.
not a good idea.
I mean, we can
touch
do it
it.
right. We can do it next. Fuck it. Let's do it next. Yeah, let's do it next.
What? Come on now.
Don't listen to him.
11.4%. I'm already buzzed.
Just looking at the box.
Here's some water. Wait. Yeah, you need water. Here's water.
So as we move into the next stuff, let's discuss Princess Leia's book.
yeah.
So basically what happened is during the making of A New Hope, and I believe it went throughout the original trilogy, but Carrie Fisher was a lonely little girl, and she said she didn't have any friends. She was kind of picked up on and put on this movie, and she was very self-conscious. She didn't know what to do.
George
She's
didn't
very
let her wear
young,
underwear.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So she kept a
She was
diary.
considered fat too at the time for like actresses.
She
I don't know
what?
if you heard about that, but like I don't know, maybe they talk about it, but like a lot of things that I've seen in interviews is that like after A New Hope, when they started going into Empire, is that like they're like Carrie Fisher, like you need to lose some weight, you need to be skinnier, and all
She
that
was
shit.
so skinny.
She was
I
so
know.
small.
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
are fucking.
that's ridiculous.
People are
Yeah.
fucked.
Hollywood's fucked. Fuck
but
Hollywood.
so I don't think she had anything prior to. I don't know.
I can find out.
I don't know. Let's not find out.
IMDb.
Okay.
Let's do it later.
Let's keep it a mystery.
I want to know.
You got to read the book.
I don't like
and then
mystery.
You find out. No.
That's why I hate Star Wars.
So, and I think
Who's
we would
Snoke?
all we would all assume, and we've all
Han Solo.
speculated that Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford got it on. But now she put that in the book that it's confirmed that Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher were having an affair because Han, or whatever the fuck, was married. So,
What?
this was released last week. So,
Wait, Han was married, not.
Harrison Ford's never been. He only flies planes and crashes them. No, but Harrison Ford was married during the making of Star Wars, and he had an affair with Carrie Fisher. That was kind of an underground thing. No one really knew. A lot of us, like I said, probably assumed and speculated, but she put it in a fucking book and released it without him even knowing.
Yeah.
So
well, the quote that she put was.
Are you sure it was
like,
without him
on
knowing?
screen it was Han and Leia, and off screen it was Harrison and Carrie.
Harrison.
So, supposedly she sent a copy of the book to Harrison Ford to let him read it to make sure he was okay with it. She never heard anything back.
Can he
and
still read? Harrison?
He can still walk.
Barely.
He could read.
Barely.
Yeah, but still.
Broke his ankle trying to walk to the
counts.
Falcon. They had to stop production.
Yoda's leaving all of his space toys around. But yeah, so it's kind of controversial because
So then he never confirmed it or denied, and then she just put
she
it in.
never heard anything. And she's like, well, I'm releasing this book, so I let you know about it. Boom. And I mean, at this point, is anything going to happen to Harrison Ford? No.
Doesn't give a damn. He's 80 and rich.
He probably doesn't. I don't know. Maybe she emailed it to him and he's like, I don't know what a computer is, so. So I don't know.
Misses those days.
But it was kind of weird.
Granddaughter reads my emails. I don't fucking know what that was.
Yeah, I mean, somebody probably read it for him.
She it's hard. I read the article and I put the. Maybe we can put the link up.
We'll have it in the show notes. Yeah.
Yeah, in the show notes if you're listening to this. But she goes kind of through. She doesn't blame him. It was just kind of a part of what was happening at the time. And she said, honestly, I don't know what happened first, Han and Leia's relationship or mine and Harrison's. And she said they probably played off each other. She said maybe on screen, off screen, they kind of were just meshing and it kind of just became. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't have a Jedi baby, Bubba.
In real life. Mm-hmm. Do you think that off-screen relationship blended itself into like their actual character
That's what she
relationships?
said. Yeah, that's why she said it seemed so believable on screen because it was happening off
Well, no,
screen.
I meant that if they started that early on and then that maybe gave Lucas or gave the crew the idea to make it happen.
No,
do you think
I doubt
he had
it.
that plan from
Yeah.
day one?
I think that was written prior to. Okay, let's move on to the second beer.
Really quickly, the only thing that she was in before Star Wars is something called Shampoo. Shampoo in
Shampoo?
1975.
It's probably shampoo commercials. She probably did up her pubes and had enough of that.
Oh, okay.
She had to be clean for that metal bikini. Didn't want it to rust.
Well, you know, there's stories about George
one are we
where
So this is.
that's last, man. Calm it.
This is Old Horizontal. 2013. Yeah.
Oh, Mark's
Treat it lightly.
dying.
This is
This has got a lot of smell.
Yep. So let me tell you a little bit of this beer. Give him more, because he got chipped last time. So we'll just.
I'm good with mine. Don't even have to top it off.
So this is a barley wine made by Victory. I think they still make it.
It's a barley wine.
Barley wine. Yeah.
So what's the difference? More alcohol.
More alcohol.
Why is the word wine in there?
Malt. Because for a while you couldn't call something over a certain percentage
Beer.
beer. And so the idea is this is more like wine. A lot of the sugars are fermented just to get the flavor and everything. So that's what's left. Similar to wine. There's not a lot of hops. You'll get mostly malt flavor. This beer was made in 2013. Yeah.
We're gonna die.
It's 11%, or it used to be 11% alcohol. I don't know what it is now.
Is this
beer-
something that slowly ferments? Because I know beer doesn't really keep fermenting because there's nothing in there
Right.
to ferment.
They might bottle condition. I mean, it won't
What the
keep
fuck?
fermenting.
Yeah,
But like it's probably about 11%.
You trying to kill us?
I got
Last
this,
time you brought garbage beer.
Here's
now you're bringing
24
fucking
beers.
wine.
Listen.
24 photons.
we're
this
only gonna
beer
end
is
with a
really
12.
good, especially as it gets warm. but it's incredibly sweet. You'll notice at the first sip, it's very, very sweet.
Jesus.
I'm not bringing this for you guys to like give it a 3 stars. This is an experience. I want you to try it.
You want us to die?
I use this beer for cooking. I cook a lot of things with this beer. I've done sloppy joes, I've done pasta sauce, I've done barbecue sauce, and all kinds of other shit. I've aged or
You have
marinated.
AIDS?
I've marinated chicken in it.
Sounds
It's
good.
got a lot of flavor.
That sounds good. Yeah.
I want you guys to try it.
All right, we'll try.
I didn't pour all of it because I don't think any of us are
No.
going to or need to finish it.
Well, you
Okay,
gave me
cheers.
double of the last portion.
This is I brought better beers, don't worry. So this is an experience and nothing else.
Oh man.
Save me.
It's not as bad as it smells.
It's not as bad as
It's
it
not
smells.
as bad as it smells. You're right, but it's so
Oh, that
sweet.
smell is really bad.
It's
very
malt and sweet. It's like malt and sugar. You know what this tastes like? When we were making the beer last
It
week,
tastes like brown sugar,
and
like
all
straight
the
brown
mash
sugar.
was done, and we were refiltering the water through, and we tasted it then.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
This is what it tasted like.
Yeah.
What's this?
Just
What it is? There's like
literally
no
malt
hops
and
added.
sugar.
There's like a minimal amount of hops added in, like barley wine and Scotch ales. It's like real minimal.
Just enough
hops.
to call it beer.
It was
just
before we
enough
added
to
the
give it like a
hops.
preservative quality. That's what hops do. Hops are a preservative, and that's why India Pale Ales exist, is because the hops are preservative.
Right.
American breweries have obviously changed that and made hops like the most delicious
Whatever the fuck they want.
additive to beer ever.
So
But
are like IPAs? Do they last longer?
They're supposed to.
it's a tough
According to
question.
what,
So like the
Chris
hops that
said,
they
yeah,
use, so
supposed
like
to.
there are
Whoa,
two
whoa.
different.
A lot of people yelling. I
Yeah.
couldn't figure it out.
That's what a podcast
So like
is.
hops have two different like things going on. They act as a preservative, and that's when they used to add a bunch of hops to send it to India, hence India Pale Ale, to keep the beer from spoiling and from tasting like complete dog shit.
Not as a lot of people, including myself, presumed hops from India.
Right. That's
Right.
never, as far as I know,
never been a
there's
thing.
not very many good beers in India. I'm sure that there are, but like
Probably
not a
not.
ton.
Actual brewing's not
probably
in
not
there,
two.
so it
That's
doesn't matter.
true. Yeah. Exactly.
Non-actual.
But like hops still acts as a preservative, and then they also offer flavor, aroma, and bitterness, and that balances the sweetness and the graininess of malt. So it's a balancing act. And so when you
So this
take
is
away,
out of balance,
so this
is what you're saying.
this is originally an English style beer, and so what they do to save money, because malt's a lot easier to grow, it grows year round. It's easier to harvest. They
Less
would
hops.
use a small amount of
Yeah.
hops, and then they would take this beer, and then you would drink and get shit faced because it's high alcohol. It's great. It's barley
So the
wine.
opposite of Photon. Tastes bad and gets you drunk.
It doesn't taste bad. It just smells bad.
It does smell bad.
It does taste a lot better than it smells.
Yeah.
We
Not
also
my favorite thing in
came
the world.
from that farmhouse smelling
Yeah, I should have
delicious
just
beer.
waited to the end to do that one, but
The amazing
That'll be-
goodness of the farmhouse.
Yeah.
do you want more?
No, man.
Sure.
That stuff. We're gonna be ending with a 12. I gotta calm.
It's not a 12. It's 11.8.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Well, I'm dying. For anyone that's curious about the video or the stream, everyone's saying Facebook Live is dog shit. So.
Did you turn it off?
Thanks, Zuckerberg.
Did you turn it off?
No, I can't turn it off
Hey,
while I'm in the middle
Facebook
of the
could
stream.
save your
So.
life. There was some
Except for the video
article
streaming, though.
on something. I don't know. I didn't read it.
Also, Grip says, "Where's the Android app? We don't have an Android app. It's just on.
I didn't think
iTunes
about
right
that.
now." Yeah.
Get a fucking iPhone.
Well, first of all, get an iPhone. Second of all, we'll think about it.
Gotta have it though.
it's
we
like
need a
asking
we
where's
need
the
a petition.
Windows app. Where's the Windows app? Fuck you. Windows phones are so bad.
Alex is triggered.
Oh, Windows phones are bad.
Not that I have an opinion.
Windows
Not
phones
that I
are
just shouted
super
about
weird.
the worst OS, but yeah, I never even touched one, so and I wouldn't.
The computers were OS were already shitty enough. Why put it on a phone?
It scares me trying to turn the windows on. Anyways, beer. You're right. It tastes better than it smells. It's still too sweet for me. I can't really drink much, man.
It's fine. That's it was.
It's not for me. And it's you just look like you did a workout.
That was.
Which I don't think he's done in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Just the right arm lifts for
Yep.
the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say 1 star region.
Yep.
Which is it's worth trying because like you enjoy it.
No.
I enjoy cooking with it a lot. And with the right food, this is really good.
So add it to your chicken.
But no, like if you want something sweet, like an additive that it reduces really well and produces a very sweet sauce. It's gonna be really good, and like sweet and sour chicken would be incredible. It's a good beer to cook with.
That would be good.
In certain circumstances, it's really good. If it's really cold, this beer will get you drunk very fast and it'll make you feel warm inside.
This would be
That's a
really
good
good
use for
in
it.
an Asian dish.
Yeah. Or with an
Marinated,
Asian
like
dish. Can
pork
you imagine
marinated?
drinking this with like orange chicken? That'd be pretty tasty.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I prefer a photon.
Well, I don't have any orange chicken.
You have one right
so
there.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you have 2 of them.
I can
Why
need
you
to
have
cleanse
2
my
of them?
palate. Because you gave him one. You said
Well,
you
yeah, but I
needed
thought
water.
he finished it because we finished ours. I thought he was a man. Oh, touche.
Yeah. It's not a good beer. Try it. Get it the fuck out of here.
I mean, you can dump yours out if you want. I don't have anything to dump it in, but
I don't want to dump it out. I don't want to waste it.
okay. I got a case of those for $20, so you can waste as much as you want.
That seems like bad.
I know, it's amazing.
Unfortunate.
It was awesome. It was like the best deal. If you don't know, Kenny Road Market does, as well as I think the 14 stores, get like mass quantities of like out of date beer and like shit distributors are trying to get rid of. And they sell it for like super cheap. You get
Nice.
so many good deals there. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Expired beer. It's free.
Sometimes expired beer is really good. Don't ever buy an expired IPA. Ever. Ever. But the maltier the beer and the higher alcohol the beer, like, age doesn't matter. It just gets better.
Hurry up, Commander. Drink it up.
Fuck.
Drink it, drink it, drink it, drink it up.
I just feel like I had a
Just pour it out
bunch
here.
of
Pour it
Tootsie
back in
Rolls
his
in my
glass.
mouth
It's
at
fine.
once.
Ooh, I love Tootsie Rolls. Let's
Tootsie.
put like 10 of those. Tootsie. Do you say
Tootsie.
Tootsie?
Tootsie.
People
Tootsie
who pronounce
Bootsy.
Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Rolls. Well, because how do you say toot? Like T-O-O-T.
Toot.
Toot.
That doesn't work though. We're talking English language. That doesn't work.
All right, I didn't know you were a linguistics major too.
I'm not. I'm just saying our language doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's true, it doesn't. But who are you to tell me that it's not Tootsie Roll?
Tootsie Bootsy.
That doesn't make any. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
What's the word W-I-N-D?
Wind?
It's wind.
Bitch.
Do something.
Do
So same thing.
Oh, okay. So
It's
this
the English language.
All right,
doesn't
now that
matter.
we're done with that bullshit,
So he is a
How do we
linguistics.
drink more beer?
I'm trying. Hey, just God, dude. Please.
12 things coming up. You doing it?
Oh, that's a bad idea. I don't want to do that. Can you dump that out in there for me
Dump that one on where?
in the bathroom?
Oh, dear baby.
What's going on?
I was rinsing my glass so it didn't taste like Tootsie Rolls.
Guys.
Just rinse it with water.
I can't
sorry.
do
I
it
think I broke
anymore.
Do you want to end with the bourbon barrel stout? Or do you
This
want to end
beer
with
review, the beer reviews of the podcast are having a negative effect on my health.
Well, you only do this once a week. That's not that bad.
Kinda.
Do you want to end on the
I don't care.
or I have a double IPA
Just
and I
end
have a bourbon barrel stout.
all the
Okay, well, for Mopar's sake, we're gonna do the bourbon barrel and end on something that he likes.
Do something that we can sip on,
Something that I like.
and while we
That's
can.
why I brought the case of Photon. That's
Well,
the
no, I
sip-on.
meant do something that's going to take a minute to drink.
Oh, okay. Let's do this then, so we
Which
can
is
talk
perfect.
for a while. Yeah.
Because we should probably talk about Star Wars a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
This is a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen might appreciate some Star Wars conversation.
There's ladies?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I just watched that while
Rogue
we
One.
were home. It's so
We
good.
talk about some Rogue One. I haven't
talk
talked to you guys
about,
about Rogue One yet.
Rouge 8. Yeah, we should.
If this isn't a Dr. Pepper, I'm going to be
It's
pissed.
my beer. Why did you just take my glass? Fuck you.
Dr. Strange.
Give me that. I'm gonna give you the smallest amount because you don't like bourbon,
Yeah.
and we're gonna give you some more because you appreciate this.
Give him more.
No. Don't do
listeners,
that.
listeners are pissed.
Uncalled for.
Listeners are pissed.
You have to drink most of this with me then. It's called Death Star.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink it out of honor of Star Wars.
Spell it.
Yeah, just a little bit left.
Death-
Just like half an ounce there.
It's a perfect name too because it's Death's Tar, and it looks like fucking
Yeah,
tar.
here, show them the label.
Feels like
Here, show the
tar.
label.
Tastes
Cool.
like tar. It's got
Underneath
Fidel
it, it says
Castro
Death
on the
Star.
front.
So this is
too.
from Revolution Brewing. If you're not familiar with them, in Chicago, they make some really fucking good beers.
It's spelled like Megadeth without the A.
So show them the right
Death
there.
Star.
Death's.
Death's Tar.
It's
Yes.
the tar that Death owns. Death's tar.
That's gonna be the death of this podcast. Let's begin.
You're gonna be the death of this podcast.
No,
Gross.
I didn't even sniff test.
I'm the genitals of this podcast.
God.
It smells good. What are you? Oh,
Oh God.
you smell that vanilla and chocolate right
I
there.
don't know what I
up
do.
front.
I don't know. It tastes like coconut.
I just must not be in the mood tonight for strong, flavorful beers.
Just let it sit. What do you taste?
Goodness.
No,
I'm
think
just
about,
not in the mood to
think
appreciate
about,
it
the
right now.
flavors you taste.
It's like when you're in a triggered mood and you try
Tastes
to
like
watch
coconut.
prequels and then you say all the prequels
Coconut's
suck.
a flavor. See, he gets it.
Coconut's also a word. Got it. But the aftertaste tastes like coconut.
All right,
also
let's
a
talk about
fruit.
Star Wars.
Is it a fruit or a veg? I don't know what it is.
My cousin
Comes
dropped
off a
some
tree,
knowledge on us.
It'd have to be
If it has seeds in it when you eat it, it's technically a fruit.
fruit, like a tomato
And a papa.
and a pineapple. It's a fruit.
Cucumber.
So my
Oh, I wouldn't guess that was a fruit.
We were wrong. He stumped us and he's
so my
14,
dick is a fruit.
15.
You're
'Cause
what?
they're- My dick is a fruit. 'Cause
It's
when
got
you eat it, the
seeds?
seeds come out.
Who eats your dick?
Guys, we're never having a guest again.
Like Kobayashi. Eating. He's the wiener mobile.
Kobayashi Maru it.
All right. I'm gonna give this a 4
Do you know,
out of
guys-
100.
It's good. Give me a second.
God.
Give me a second.
It's heavy up
Give
front.
me just half a second.
Yeah, it is.
It's heavy up front.
All right, so skip Catalyst for a second. What's the theory that you heard about Rogue One? I want to talk about that first.
Let's bring it up. You have to
Okay.
click on that link.
Okay.
So we're talking about a possible link
Share it in the chat.
between Force Awakens and Rogue One. So it's going to be the second one. Yep,
Right
that
here?
one.
All right, I'm going to paste this into the chat boxes for you fucking furry fools that are with us live.
So the theory is we're talking about the concept pictures of the Knights of Ren, and we're comparing it to the main characters that we've seen in the Rogue One trailers. Now, if you click the link, or if you go to Dorkly, it's called Intriguing Fan Dicks or something. I don't know, but it's close. The first 3 are terrible. Go down to the 4th one.
Well, all right, let's recap them though.
No.
Because Star Wars fans are fucking insane.
So-
Number 1, Jyn is Rey's mom. Stop talking.
Well, no, whoa. So this was written June 1st. So it was like Rogue One's a movie, and they're like, what? And just made shit up. So
Of course.
It's all
Jyn
based on
become
hairstyles too. So
number 2 was Jyn becomes Captain Phasma. Weird. I don't care. Next. Snoke appears in Rogue One. We don't know yet. Next.
If he does, it wouldn't be as Snoke.
Well, they're saying this picture. That's a Bacta tank. They were comparing it to Luke's Bacta tank on Hoth.
It looks
And
like one.
And they're assuming that this is actually Palpatine kneeling to the body of whoever Snoke ends up being. That somehow Snoke is being.
No. I'm sorry, but like, Palpatine is an evil, conniving motherfucker.
Well,
He's not
that's-
gonna bow to anybody.
No. I
he
think
killed
he was.
his master, like when he was young. Like, there's no single person in the universe that would ever. I think that's bullshit. That's like the worst theory I've ever heard.
I think we
To
give.
me,
That's not who
it-
Palpatine is.
Well, to me, it seems like this whole theory revolves around the fact that Palpatine happened to wear a black cape. And this guy also
No,
has a
it's-
black
it's a
hooded
f-
cape.
Yeah, it's a fan theory.
dumb.
It's
Why?
crazy.
Well,
But
I
I
think
think
wears black
It's
cape?
definitely a
No.
back to tank.
the theory. I didn't think so.
I thought so. Yeah, as soon as I saw it. I
Yeah.
thought it looked just like
looks
a back to tank.
Okay.
But we know that's not Vader.
The theory was that he was keeping and torturing somebody in the back, like keeping up. It was almost like a Deadpool, keeping
Why
him
would
right
he
on
bow
the.
before it, though, if he's torturing him?
He's laughing on his knees. It's fine. It's that funny.
gotta
But
get down to
he
his
was
level.
like keeping them right on the what is that? Right on the line of life and death, like Deadpool, where he was like fluctuating.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's a weird theory. This last one. So let's scroll down to the right here.
One
More.
second.
More,
One
do it more.
second, buddy. 1 second.
So what this is this is the concept picture of the Knights of Ren, and what they have is it's broken down into like 5 different skills. So we've got the heavy, the armory, the rogue. Scroll down, we got the sniper and the monk. Now, take that, scroll down even more. We've got heavy, the armory, the rogue, the monk, and the sniper. So when we're looking at this and scroll down, they'll break it down into each.
It's not a bad idea.
So, and they're looking at, this was the stupidest one. Like I said, on a general level, it looks great. And they said, oh, this armory guy, they're both wearing goggles. Wait.
No, they both have items on their chest.
Items on their chest, they're holding a gun the same. Fine. Next guy, goggles, and he's got shit all over his chest. Fine. This one's kind of similar. The heavy, so he's got like the one-sided armor. You can see it comes out only on one side.
They said, oh wait,
We
I'm
also
looking at it
see him
wrong.
in the previews.
This
how,
right here.
How he
Yeah.
fucking.
But it's
Okay.
weird that one came out like 2 years ago. Like they're conceptualizing this. The monk makes perfect sense. We know he's blind, using the force. He's a fuck. I love him. And then obviously we've
Obviously,
got
Rogue
the
is
rogue.
June, yeah.
So they were suggesting these 5 people are the Knights of Ren.
But
and
where's
Kylo becomes the master of the Knights of Ren.
But I
he
want to
goes
see
to the
not one of
dark.
the 5.
He goes to the dark side, fucks people up, and these people are forced to follow him. Whether it's in fear or in honor or I don't know.
You know, we're gonna have Stupendous Wave on next week, and I'm really excited to hear his thoughts on stuff like this. Mm-hmm. Let's think about a few things that we know. We know that there's no sequel to Rogue One. The sequel to Rogue One is A New Hope. Rogue One ends, A New Hope starts.
So
As far as we've been told, so we don't know what the hell all these characters are gonna do after the plot of this movie is
Right.
over with.
So we've talked about this, I think briefly. I don't know if we actually talked about this on the podcast. Episode 8 is going to be the first movie that it's exactly sequential. At the end of 7 is going to be the very first scene of the beginning of 8.
Is that confirmed?
Otherwise, all the other movies have like years and or a couple decades almost between them. This one's supposed to start on the island with Luke and Rey.
Okay.
Can we be wrong with that and this be ending on the Tantive 4?
Well, I could be wrong, but what I've heard is that this ends 10 minutes before episode 4 starts.
Dear God, that's so cool. I'm so
fucking
excited.
sweet. I'm geeked. I might be more excited for this than for episode 8.
No, but yes.
I'm more excited for this than I was for 7. I'm
Yeah,
so
I
excited
agree.
for this movie. Like,
Well, everything was so much up in the air with 7. We didn't know how Disney was going to do it. Then they killed it, and we're like, well, fucking Rogue One. We're going to do this shit.
Like, yeah, this
suppose.
was a total fan service movie. It was great. Now
Yeah.
you're gonna do a completely new concept, and it's gonna fucking be awesome.
So the only
it's gonna be
thing-
so good.
All right, so the Knights of Ren thing. When you see him, Kylo with the Knights of Ren in Rey's vision, he's the only one that has the lightsaber. Is that correct?
Yes,
Do you
I
even
don't
see
see
that he
another
has a,
lightsaber.
Do you even see that he has a lightsaber?
Yeah,
in
he
that?
stabs.
Yeah, his
he
is
stabs
out.
someone.
Does he?
Yeah,
So
go
it's likely to assume that if they were all force
something.
sensitives and had lightsabers, that they should all have them out if they're killing people. But he's the only one that
What's
has
the difference
one.
between
Yeah.
force sensitive
that-
and being like Jedi or whatever trained and having a lightsaber, especially once they've destroyed the Order and everything?
I think it's just like a group of specialists.
Well, but since he's the only one that has one, it's safe to assume that these people that aren't force sensitive could be his comrades or
They could.
frat brothers, whatever the
Podcast
fuck you want to call it,
hosts or-
podcast hosts or drunk assholes or whatever it might be.
Brewerisms. Yeah.
Once they break it down, I think it's kind of silly. I think it's just more stuff for fans to do until December 16th.
Well, true. But it's weird that they would come up with this concept, come up with exactly 5, and they'd be pretty fucking close to what they just made for Rogue One.
Could be connecting dots that don't really
You know,
exist.
the same
though.
thing. Like I feel like that's the thing because I just watched some friends, some friends. Yeah, okay. Some friends of mine were looking at the. I don't know what to do.
There you go.
Just talk like a normal
Um,
Talk
oh, now you're
normal.
making me nervous. So I recently watched some people I know that are, for better or worse,
Drunks?
stoners.
Oh.
And they were watching
That's
some
us.
shit on the was it the like Masonic Society
Television.
or whatever, like whatever the
Masonic Knights?
Yeah, the Masonic Knights and all that shit.
Whoa,
And it
whoa,
was-
I don't know anything
it was
about
that.
like
Not Masonic
a-
Knights,
It was like a sci-fi thing.
Masonic. What's the name of that? Masonic Order, Masonic
The
Temple,
Order
Knights
of Masons
Templar.
or whatever. Well, yeah, there's the Knights Templar, and then they became the like
all the Assassin's
the-
Creed shit. You know?
Yeah. The like, like nowadays they're like the Freemasons. The Freemasons.
Yes.
And so they're like doing all this shit. And it was like
You
most
got
of it was like finding geometric shapes
Mm-hmm.
in like Washington DC and like major societies and shit. And I'm like, oh, you guys are
No, closer.
oh sorry.
Right there.
But
Yeah,
it's
nice.
like you guys are just like it's geometric shapes in the shit. Like you're connecting points that probably don't exist. But it was interesting.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of what I feel like this, like it's really interesting and there might be something to it, but why would this group of what we're assuming are rebels that create the rebellion come back full circle to the Knights of Ren and join what is essentially the forces of evil, more or less.
Well, on that point, there's one thing that I'm extremely fascinated about with the Star Wars universe and very intrigued by. The fact that people join the good side because they want to do what's right, and after a particular amount of time realize that the good side is not actually doing what's in the best interest of the galaxy and decide to change their minds. So the fact that these guys were recruited for something that was supposed to save the galaxy, obviously we don't know what's going to happen,
kind of the
the
opposite.
details, but like they go into it thinking something. After the events happen, they realize that they were wrong, their leaders were wrong, everything was fucked up, and they decided to go rogue
The
or
opposite of
go
a
to the
Finn.
dark side. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you think about it. On a general sense, the rebellion are terrorists, and we've mentioned that before. If
They
you
are,
look
yeah.
on a grand scale, the Empire is the government. It's the overruling government, and these rebels are just running their ships in I mean, they are terrorists.
yeah.
So if from a
Guerrilla
from a
tactics,
rebellion,
small attacks and shit and
So if you-
stealing from them, yeah.
So if you don't see the top-heavy Vader murdering people for his own will, which no one's gonna see, on a ground level, you just see a government trying to protect itself, and you're a bunch of rebels just blowing innocent troops up, basically. So it could be turned on its head there.
Right.
We're getting deep. You like it?
I
Say,
wanted to get deep. That's the one thing
Tell
that
me-
I really
tell me
like
that in
the
your sexy
Clone Wars-
voice.
The Clone Wars kind of got into. The Clone Wars were all about.
Yep.
No, they kind of touched on that gray area, and it's like the only time Star Wars has ever been like, maybe these sides aren't so, like good and evil, which was awesome.
Exactly. And that's really important. That's something that the original trilogy didn't give us that. It didn't give us
They didn't
the
give us
ambiguity
anything.
of
All they
like,
gave us was a bunch of shitty characters. And
this is evil,
backstory.
but
Don't
wait
do
a
that.
second. It's not really. Like,
about the
I'm
original
sorry.
trilogy?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about 1, 2, 3. Sorry.
No, the original trilogy.
how dare you?
They don't give you. They give you clear, good, bad.
They do.
.com /
and they do
this
a
is
good
what you
job
need.
of it too.
Hey, Jarno, what's up, man? Sorry I missed you. We got too many things going on.
I missed you too. Sub,
Also,
baby.
beer. I love you.
Rebels are terrorists.
How's it going in Belgium? He's right. He's right. It's true. No, man, I'm fascinated by this theory. Not this theory specifically. The overall thought that
The
you can
rebels.
join a side and realize that you're doing the wrong things for the wrong reasons, and then switch. There's a subplot in Rebels of that. Agent Callus in I think it's season 2 of Rebels, whatever. He gets trapped with one of the rebels that are in the crew with the Ghost. And after they're trying to help each other survive and they end up talking, whatever, and then he goes back to an Imperial base after they get off the planet and starts thinking about everything that the rebels told him, and he sees it like in all the actions of the Imperial officers, and they're imprisoning innocent people and stuff like that. So the same thing happens on that side too.
Yeah, they do a good job too with even one of the clones who like ran away. He's like, I have a family now, which was stupid, but but his whole thing. I don't know if you remember that from the Clone Wars.
I have a family now.
Yeah, he's got his little farm family trying to keep his way on the outskirts.
That's
Bullshit.
that's the one thing they preserved from the Republic Commando series by Karen Travis. After
But,
they deleted and shit on
But like
everything
that
else.
idea of like what's right and what's wrong, because
Yeah.
he starts as like basically we as clones are slaves, which is
Well,
true.
the right versus wrong thing goes even deeper than what we're talking about right now, because from a lot of
Which it all
perspectives,
leads back to
Palpatine is a
Palpatine's
good
a-
guy.
I don't know if I call him a good guy, but he is the mastermind
From a certain point of view.
Everything, like whether you think it's right or wrong, like
But
his,
from a certain point of
his
view.
ability
You're-
to play people is
Well, that's just
incredible. He's like Littlefinger of the entire galaxy.
yeah, and that's his strength. But that doesn't have anything to do with the ethics of what's happening, because what's right
But the
and
ethics
wrong.
of what's
well,
happening is really fucked up.
yeah,
I mean, he's playing sides and killing hundreds of thousands or millions of people.
But
and
so are
destroying
the
planets and
rebels.
stuff. But like, no, he created the war though. Like the rebels.
because he knew. But the whole
I mean, if you're
overarching.
thinking, so before the
plot-
rebellion, like he made the.
Hey, wait a second. Sorry, it's okay. 11%, bro.
I haven't even had that much of it.
Certain point of view. So everything that Palpatine put into place was because, from his point of view, the Jedi were just slowly destroying the galaxy, and he needed to do whatever at all cost to stop that from happening.
No, this is from a. Like this thought is from a book, I assume.
Well, you got to think what
Or his thought
Palpatine's
process.
whole the way he brings everything down is by exposing that the Jedi aren't perfect. They aren't all powerful. They aren't all knowing to the
Right.
Republic, and they end up failing the Republic.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would
Understand that,
never
but
say
he's the
he's
reason
good.
why they failed the Republic
Well,
is because
alright.
he played them
But
against the other side, which he was controlling both. I mean, he was the mastermind behind both sides of that war.
He got to the point where he was controlling both sides.
I mean,
yeah.
he was the entire time since the
With
start of the
Vader.
war. He was playing the Trade Federation and telling them what to do.
But
and
without
reinforcing them.
Vader, he wouldn't have done shit.
No, you're right, but that's later on. But like, he still put all of the pieces into
Oh,
play
yeah. Yeah.
from both the Republic side and the clones, which he set up, Count Dooku, and then also, you know, like just everything was his like master plan, and he played both sides. As you see that through the entire episodes 1 through 3.
I want a little side book about Jedi Master Sifo Dyas.
That'd be cool.
So there was a quote that I read today. I'm not going to butcher it, but I'm going to give you the general idea.
Paraphrasing, Palpatine's the greatest guy.
But Palpatine was talking to Vader, and he said basically, there's one plan to rule the galaxy in the right way, and it's mine. It's my fucking plan. There's only one way to do this, and it's this. Right here, and he pointed at his genitals. It's this right here.
So yeah, he's a fanatic.
No, but he-
from
he-
his point of view, he thinks he's doing the right thing.
No, absolutely
I don't know if
not.
right thing
Absolutely
is
not.
so
what you
right
just
thing
said.
you imply
No.
this like the goodness of whole. And I don't think that's it. All he
No.
wants is power
Yeah.
and control of everything. That is what, and that's what his downfall is that he thinks that he is the right and everything he does is the perfect plan.
Oh, okay,
I think
I can see that.
his
But that sounds
strength,
like that sounds exactly like a quote he would say. Like
his strength and downfall were all based off of one thing, that he has foreseen the future and he knows what's going to happen, and he kind of got to the point that he assumed everything that he foreseen will come true. And I think it kind of just looped enough times that it kind of fucked him in the end. I had foreseen Luke's going to become my next. Oh shit, he didn't.
Well, that's
Boom.
oh, he
And
didn't
then
till
that's-
later. Fuck.
That's trippy in and of
Boom.
itself, with the whole like time travel and visions of the future thing we were talking about a few episodes back. Anakin had a premonition that Padme was going to die.
Right.
Because of that, he did all of these things that ended up with Padme dying.
Which is
if
interesting,
he
'cause that's-
had listened to Yoda and calmed the fuck down, she might have survived in the
I
end.
don't think so.
What's interesting is that's
don't know.
basically
You can't know.
fuck, what is it? Jocasta, and
can't
it's a
know.
Greek tragedy. It's based on this Greek tragedy, whereas Jocasta was the mom and whatever her son's name was. But do you guys know what I'm talking about? I got it.
I don't. I don't.
So it's this Greek tragedy where this mother and father, like of a great family in some city, have a son, and it's predicted that
No, you're okay.
Get
okay.
closer, if anything.
There was
Okay.
just feedback here from my headphones. My bad.
So it's predicted, like, they go to a seer, and the seer's like, your son's gonna kill your father, and so they send the son away to be raised somewhere else to kill the father, and then like through happenstance they run into each other on the road when he's an adult, and then kills his father because they get in an argument. But if they hadn't done that, if they just been like, no, we'll just raise him to be a good person, it wouldn't have happened. So it's sort of this idea that like, and then what it's based on is like the idea that like the tragedies that are going to happen to you, like what's predicted or what's foreseen, whatever like big or small thing it may be, is going to happen. And that's what I thought was really interesting. That's one of the things that stood out to me is like he saw this over and over and over again to the point where like no matter what he would have done, it would have happened.
But think about this.
Because she died in childbirth. Like whatever, if he hurt her or not, she would have died in childbirth. The twins killed her. That's what would really kill her.
That's what I'm saying. So Sidious sees,
we don't know what killed her.
Sidious
Go ahead.
sees the future and accepts it and knows what the fuck's gonna happen. Anakin sees the future and tries to fucking change it, and it happens anyways because you're a douchebag and you already you saw what was gonna happen. So if he just had the Palpatine mindset and said, "That's gonna happen," let me just prepare myself for it, and it probably would have helped the whole Yoda thing. Just calm your dick. Just calm
That's a
it
good way
down.
to look at it too.
Yeah.
But that's
I like
I think
that idea, too.
I think that's the power of Palpatine. He foresees things and he's like, well, I mean, that's gonna happen. So let me plan my fucking empire around that one event.
Yeah.
I'll make it look like an accident. I'll make it look like his fault, and it's gonna put me in this seat. And like, you know what I'm saying? Vader just tries to change the future, and he can't.
I mean, that's a really good way to think about it. I've never even really considered that, but
Yeah.
it makes sense. My whole thing is that if you focus on what happens and what is said in the movie, Padme dies because she loses the will to live, which is so ambiguous it doesn't even fucking mean anything. So that's where my whole concept comes from, is because all the shit that Anakin did trying to save her, he pushed her away and she was so heartbroken that she died.
I think Sidious is conniving enough that he killed Padme.
That's possible too.
And he played it.
But we don't know.
I have the power to save her because if I don't kill her, she lives. So
Well.
he didn't even fucking lie. But so Vader does this crazy thing and becomes a douche and kills younglings, and then
That's possible too.
by the way, she died anyways because you foresaw all that shit. What are you doing?
What are you doing, man?
I wish Sidious would have said that. Yoda would have said that. Doing what you are?
Jesus.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's so many different ways and twists that you can just look at Star Wars from a different point of view, and it just changes everything.
That line really like solidified everything.
What?
About the mystery of Star Wars from
Yeah.
a certain point of view.
And we've seen it only from one, and that's what the greatest things about the books are, because they
And the Old
change.
Republic.
They
Yeah.
change that point of view.
Yeah.
They give you a different character from a different planet, and they see like the Bane thing. He saw the Republic as a bad thing. His planet alone was in poverty, and you couldn't
Right.
get off of it because the Republic ships were basically taking minerals off that and not paying enough for anyone to get anywhere.
Right.
And in the Sith land, they're like, oh yeah, we've got a bunch of money too. Bane, you're with us.
Well, that was where I
And
was
he's
going
like,
with.
fuck yeah, fuck those Republic fucks.
That's where I was going with Palpatine's mindset. I didn't mean to say that he was a good guy, but from his point of view, he's doing what is the right thing. He thinks. He thinks is the right thing.
Well, yeah, but the right thing for him is evil.
From a certain point of view, that's what I'm saying, though.
No, he murders stuff. He murders stuff knowing he's murdering stuff for his own power.
So did the Jedi,
Vader
though.
was murdering stuff to basically revenge the Jedi who turned on the Republic. I think Vader, you have
was
a
a-
you have a
For
good
a little
theory.
while, but then
Vader
he...
was kind of a puppet, though. I mean, like
I
Vader was.
I still
No.
think
You don't think so? You don't
No.
think the
At
Palpatine was
first,
pulling those
he was.
strings
At
the
first,
entire
yeah.
time? Like, I mean,
But what you've told me about the comics and the Darth Vader book, it gets to a point where he knows that Palpatine thinks he's a puppet, and he uses that to his advantage.
yeah, he talks mad shit to Palpatine, and it's stunning to his fucking face. Let me give you this: Vader's on his knees.
Let me give you this.
Vader's on his knees talking
Palpatine to,
talking to the Emperor. The Emperor says, "You fucked up on this mission," and he holds out his hands ready to electrocute him. He says, "You know, I could just kill you right now." And Vader just looks up, stands up, and stares down at him because Vader's so fucking tall,
Yeah.
and says, "I don't fucking fear death." And he just stares at him. with that empty. That's the greatest thing about Vader. He's so evil looking, and when you look at his face, it's empty. There's no human. There's nothing there.
No human, no emotion, no reaction.
That's what I'm saying. And when he looks down at the Emperor, who you can see, he's happy, he's mad, he's sad. He just stares at him.
Never sad.
He's glad.
never sad.
Yeah.
He's never sad.
No one in the human history of evolution has ever lived through through talking back to Sidious like that. I don't fear death. Kill me. What are you gonna do? Run the Empire by yourself? You can't fucking do that.
He can.
Get out
It's
of here.
true. Yeah.
Oh, you can kill me. Oh, I can kill myself too. I tried it. Did you see that lava trick that I did?
It's just not gonna happen, motherfucker.
Dude, I loved it because
I can't die.
it was almost to that point that Palpatine actually has no power over Vader. Vader just does it because Vader's trying to learn from Palpatine. Vader understands that Palpatine, I should call him Sidious. Sidious knows more, and Vader knows that. So he's just trying to absorb as much as he can. But fuck it, if I die, my kids my kids are dead. My wife's dead.
Yeah.
The Republic's dead. Obi-Wan's drinking somewhere on Tatooine, having a good time without me.
Yeah. There's a distinction there, which I think is interesting, is that Sidious is himself powerful. You can't deny that. But a lot of his actual power comes from the knowledge that he has, his politics, and his cunning.
Yeah. He's
Vader,
not physically powered.
I feel physically, yes, but I feel to a point that he doesn't care about ancient Sith knowledge because he knows that at a certain point he can do whatever he wants with the Force.
Yeah.
If he gets mad enough, he doesn't have to practice Force choke. It happens.
Something
because
happens.
he's fucking
Yeah.
pissed. Like, and he kind of control it where he brings it on, but he really can't control what happens. So
Well,
at the end of the day, like, he doesn't care about ancient teachings.
Yeah.
He's just gonna get fucking emotional and run around and murder everything.
Well, I think that's the give and take of the Sith and the Jedi, because you look at someone like Bane, who doesn't come from a background of the Force. Look at Anakin. He was born from the Force. He does whatever the fuck he wants, and it just comes to him. Whether it's a vision or just, oh, I thought of Force making you fly over there. Well, that's just happened. Bane comes from something else, and he always went to the libraries because he had no teachers. He had nothing to base, so he had to read everything.
Right.
You look at Vader, and like you said, he just gets
Doesn't care about
emotional
that.
enough,
Right.
and it happens.
And you just said he was born from the Force. He's part of the Force.
He's like a
fact that-
Horcrux of the Force. He is a piece of it.
Which
You can't kill a piece of it without everything fucking going crazy.
and which makes it perfect that Qui-Gon is the one that found him
Yeah.
and decided to bring him in. Because Qui-Gon was always the one that said, regardless of the teachings, regardless of my instructions, if the Force tells me to do this, it's gonna happen, no matter what. And that's how Anakin is on the evil spectrum of that. So regardless of what I know, what my master is trying to teach me, it's gonna happen because it's just he can't even control it at some point. I feel.
Regardless
Well,
of
he's driven by emotion. That's what
Yeah.
Anakin's
Yeah.
like strength and weakness was.
Yeah.
You just said like, I fucking imagined it. I'm gonna make it happen. That was his weakness, was when he was trying to be a Jedi, but at the same time, like that raw emotion, like not
They
just
were trying to
anger and
like
hate,
squash it.
like not just anger and hate, but like emotion is what drives the Sith. And you see it with
I think
people
it's what
like
drives the
Revan, and you
Force.
see it with other people. No, because the light side,
during the Republic.
sure, but that goes back a long time. Like that Jedi, the Jedi have been around for a long time.
They're a lot more
for that.
ruthless back in the old Republic,
but still, like they're driven by sort of squashing that and learning self-control, almost in like a monkish way. Whereas the dark side is all about emotion, whether it's hate and fear or it's passion driven to the point of where it sort of brings those emotion to it. But like that's why we see Anakin, like he's not fearful of the Tusken Raiders. Like, I mean, yeah, he's hateful, but it's all because of love. It's all because of this passion that drives him to do that. I think
Emotion.
it's
Yeah.
a lot more than anything else.
And the interesting thing
Name the one thing
yes,
that Anakin / Darth Vader, well, I'll limit it to Anakin, was scared of.
what is sand?
He wasn't scared of
it's not
sand.
even-
He did. He hates it.
sand.
But there was one thing he was scared of.
Losing
and it
his
was,
mom.
Losing Padme.
Well, it was the future.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
way to put it.
outside of that,
Right.
there are no physical things that are gonna come at Anakin
That he gives a fuck
That
about.
he just
Right.
what are you gonna do? I was born yesterday, bitch.
Right. Well, what you were saying about emotion and stuff, we brought this up before. That is, in turn, the downfall of the Jedi. Because as much as passion and emotion can fuel the Force to make you stronger, the Jedi are so scared of falling to the dark side that they
didn't even allow
completely,
that, yeah, like-
they completely turn against that 100%,
All of
which leads to them. They can't see what's going to happen. The dark side is clouding
Yeah.
everything. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know what's going on,
It's like if two,
and it leads to their
if
downfall.
1.5 dark forces, like 1.5 Sith, can cloud hundreds of Jedi. Then
Just
you guys
one.
are
It was
just
just Palpy.
Half portion of each.
Why'd
half
they
portion of Palpy
Why'd
was
they
fucking around.
Because half you had what's his face with the red face, Darth Maul for a little bit.
What's
and
his
then-
face with the red
Oh,
face?
and then you had
Um,
oh, it's been a while. And then you had Anakin was like dancing both sides. He was like a 50-50.
But they had no idea what was going on.
Right, and it's like if 1.5 Sith can
Just one.
cloud the entire if one Sith can cloud the entire Jedi, like they fucked up. They fucked up hard.
Exactly. And it's not because they're not strong enough to figure it out.
No.
It's because they are at a point where they've rejected emotion and passion
They
so
become
much
almost like a
that they are
religious
blind.
monks, like they're-
what
they-
if
they're
what if
just
it's
like-
not the
yeah.
dark side clouding them? What if they themselves are just so
They're limiting
enshrouded
themselves.
in their like the limited
Well, because
exactly.
I mean, if it was the dark side alone, the dark side would be so fucking powerful by itself. Then somebody would have tapped
Imagine
into
if
that a
people-
long time
imagine if
ago.
people
it
sat
has to
down-
be their own undoing with a little bit
Yeah.
of combination from Sidious and his influence.
Yes, thank you. Imagine if people sat down and thought about the actual world.
Yeah, you guys ready?
The way we're talking about Palpatine and Darth Vader.
That's fine. I'll drink out of the can.
So, we just touched on a crazy subject. What if the dark side, like we said, was just a certain point of view? What if what they were naming the dark side is just acting upon emotion, and the people that were acting on emotion were hateful people? So what if someone, because you get to the point where when Luke, well, this is not canon anymore, but when Luke was Jedi Master or whatever you want to call it, Grandmaster, he let people get married and be happy and joyful and fuck around.
Right.
So, I mean, if you have a loving, caring being, let themselves go in their emotion. What are they gonna? Oh, it's just gonna be a fucking happy Yoda on mushrooms.
Well,
Like,
here's-
what the fuck are you gonna?
To that, I would say, well, let's start this beer really quick, and then I'll talk.
We'll forget everything.
All right, we'll keep going then.
Yeah, keep going.
finish
Beer
up.
away.
Finish
Beer's
up.
not going anywhere.
I think that there's a fine line, and that you have to have enough discipline to control it. I think what happens is if you're strong with the Force, passion and emotion can help fuel that even further than normally by just training or discipline or whatever. But there's a limit, and if you go too far, that's when you cross that threshold. So you got to think like,
Pick
what
me.
if way
Have you ever
what if,
been on a fight
wait,
before?
wait, no.
Have
What
you
if
ever
way
been
back when?
angry before?
What if way back when they were developing the Force, when they realized what they could do, and they were kind of starting the Jedi Order and things, if they took it too far, that's what made them fall to the dark side. Because after a certain point, you can't control what's happening. Your emotions take over what's going on.
But think about this.
no,
What's the difference?
I can't think.
So, put yourself in this universe. What if everybody was Force sensitive? What would the difference be?
How
But
you
not
choose to
everyone's
use
force
it.
sensitive.
Exactly. So why would emotion have anything to do with anything? Life would go on exactly the same if everybody was Force sensitive, because they would you would live your own life within what happens, and you get mad sometimes, kill someone, and okay, well, you strip
And
the
then there'd
Force
be
away,
laws.
and it's the same. It's
Yeah.
the same fucking thing. You strip the Force away. Oh, I got mad and got drunk and killed someone today.
Now you're
So
in jail.
it's kind of like why does it matter? Why does
Yeah.
it matter that only the top 1% have the Force?
Yeah.
Who cares if they're basing it off emotion or not? That's what I'm saying. Like it's like a broad point of view of you used emotion and you were upset. you're the dark side. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was just mad like last night.
Yeah.
And yeah, people got hurt, but that happens without the Force.
That's an interesting perspective too.
It's amazing. Let's get to this beer.
I got one more crazy mythological Star Wars goodness theory to get into, but
Don't forget it. What is
I
this?
will. Let's try it.
This
Rectum
is
fire.
Rectum fire from 4-string.
Oh, we're cheersing.
Cheers.
Sorry.
It's a double IPA.
Holy fuck! Brown sugar, Jesus.
Just taste it. Topping delicious.
This is delicious.
Yeah. So
I'm glad we ended with this. This is one of the 4 strings that I actually absolutely like.
Yeah, so for a 4-string,
Oh
4
wait,
strings vanilla porter is really good, and 4 strings white IPA I really like.
I already know what's going on.
For a long
I
time-
didn't clean out my glass.
Yeah, I was wondering.
I was
you're
like,
just
wait a second, what the fuck
yeah,
happened?
I told him to dump it out, but he didn't. So for a long time, I like 4-string. They've been around in Columbus for like almost 6 years.
Really?
They're yeah. Like,
We've
they
had their-
make some really good beers.
Saw blade,
The Switchblade.
switchblade, and we've had
Brass
summer,
knuckle,
brass knuckle,
and the
Those
summer.
were
Yeah.
mediocre
Like,
at best.
Like Brass Knuckles fine, it's a solid paleo. Switchblade, they took they made a white Belgian IPA that was fucking delicious, and they took that off the market because Switchblade would sell better. And I guarantee you it does, but the beer is like it's like a 1.5 stars out
what
of
was
3.
the Belgian?
It's a white IPA. They do it in the spring. I'll get you a can. It's really good.
Like
Trust
White
me.
Rascal?
Yeah, it's a
No,
little,
not
it's a
white
little more
IPA.
tame.
I thought you said White Belgian.
No, that's the same thing. White Rascal is the same style. It's a little bit bigger. The
larger.
The Big Star is a little more tame.
I think we've had Big Star too.
Big,
Big
like
Star
really
is
big
really,
Star.
really good. It's really good beer, and
Like that-
they did it for marketing
that
reasons. For a long time, I haven't cared for 4-string, but this beer is fucking delicious.
So
I would say
what's
the same
double?
thing, and yes.
do you want to try it out of the can? Because I know you have a little
No.
bit of
No, it's
bourbon
good.
barrel.
I'm good.
You
What-
Sure.
What's the double? Is that just alcohol content?
It means it's essentially like twice as it's twice as big. So like it's twice as much. You use a lot more hops. You use a lot more malt.
So it's
you
your
get
recipe
balance,
times
you use
2.
More, not necessarily times 2, but yeah, more or less.
Jarno,
It is.
Jarno just said Belgian beer, and then an emoji of someone laughing hysterically
Because he's from
he's
Belgium.
from Belgium.
Yeah. Thank you, Jarno, for
Yes,
tuning
no,
in.
that should be in quotes. He's right.
By the way, what fucking
Why
time
is
is
he
it?
not sending you beer?
What
Does
fucking,
he live in Belgium?
Why are you
Yeah.
awake?
What? Yeah. What is it? 3 a.m.
Wait, does
Stop
he live in
jerking
Belgium?
it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck isn't he sending you beer every week?
I don't know if
Send
you can.
him money. Send him
it's
hundreds of
illegal.
I don't
dollars.
think you can
No, it's
send
not.
beer overseas.
Yeah, you can.
Not without
Well,
a license. We
They
can't really accept it.
Who
Ship
the
it.
fuck cares? No one's gonna check that shit.
Amazon.
Jarno, god damn it!
Yeah, Amazon. It's fine. Whatever.
Alright.
No one cares.
Send us some beer.
Buy a fucking.
If it's on Amazon, I can just order it
Buy
myself
Tell
on
him to figure-
Amazon.
Tell him to figure it a way out and send it to you because just fucking come here, you Belgian motherfucker. Come to this country and drink a shit ton of good beer.
Pissed.
just get like a
You have some of the best beer in the world.
get
in that
like an
country.
industrial drone and
He said-
fly it over.
He said it's 3:35 a.m. at the moment.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
Well,
Yeah,
we
get on
appreciate
an
you
airplane at 6 a.m. and
watching
fly over
our
here with beer. It's fine.
terrible podcast right now.
Pretty terrible.
Next time you're in
Drunkcast.
Columbus, come
Drunk
check us
Squad
out.
Pod. Next time
Next
you're in
time.
Ohio, USA.
Ohio, USA. That's never been uttered. Ohio, USA.
Thank God.
Like you said, I've been chilling on 4th string for a while, and this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been not like we said.
Just
Just
not
haven't
impressed.
haven't done it.
Average beers. I don't hate them, but like, why?
There's so much
They
more
don't,
that's
they
better.
don't blow you
No,
away.
yeah.
They're not like, this is the best
Actually-
beer in Columbus.
Okay. So we are very lucky to live in Columbus, Ohio, because, well, in America general now, because craft
beer is epic.
breweries are just every fucking where, and I love it.
No,
why-
Columbus is a special place because
It
if
is.
you look at Ohio, Columbus is right in the center. And there's no reason we should be the capital, but it is.
Yes, we should be the capital.
because
What should
we're-
be the capital?
Anyway, it doesn't
Based
matter.
on like history, probably Cleveland.
yeah,
Yeah, but look what happened.
yeah, Cleveland sucks.
The
But
river set on
anyway,
fire.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Time out.
But so we get
Just pause it. Everyone's got to take a fucking break. Belgium. Hold on.
oh, you mannequining this shit.
Kidding. This man kidding.
All right, friends, we're still live, but we're gonna pause pause the recording for half a second. Sorry, man.
It's fine.
When you go piss, we can carry it on. But when he's the one that talks all the time.
It's true, he does.
I can't do it by myself, man.
Oh man, do you want more of this? I drank the rest of this.
That? No.
I don't want to drink it either.
I'll have Photon.
I have.
I know. Yes.
I put it in the
Next
like,
time.
where'd the other 6-pack go? Okay.
Next time is wasted.
Not, but I will be by the time I finish this.
Sounds like you have to Uber home.
No.
Pissed?
I'll just sit here for like an hour. It's fine. It's so much work to get drunk on beer now.
Jarno says Belgium sucks.
I don't care about the country. I want their beer.
It's the only thing you guys have going for you, man. Is the burr.
Their beers are good. He can come over here. He can probably pay like shit for the beers, like super cheap, and just come over here with like 10 cases and sell it for like mad money.
It's probably true.
Jarno.
If you just tell them it's from Belgium, they're
Porno.
like, oh my god, and they'll just come over themselves.
Jarnhub.net.
Jarno.org/ to get it done.
Yeah.
There's no reason we should be the capital, but it is.
Yes, we should be the capital.
because
What should
we're-
be the capital?
Anyway, that doesn't
Based
matter.
on like history, probably Cleveland.
Yeah,
Yeah, but look what happened.
Cleveland sucks.
The river
but
set on
anyway,
fire.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Time out.
But so we get
Right after LeBron James.
Yeah.
sucks.
The river set on fire.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
It's the only thing that really matters. It doesn't fucking matter. But yeah,
Jarno
you're right.
just said Belgium sucks, though.
Columbus. I
No,
love
no.
Belgium.
No.
I was never there, but I'll have your beer.
So Columbus, Columbus in the state it's fucking center as fuck. And so we get beer that is made in Columbus, which is now at 27 breweries, I think. And then we get beer from Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Athens, Zanesville.
That is
I don't know,
true.
all the other tiny little fucking towns. They all bring their beer here, and you can find it in Columbus first.
That is
Outside
true.
of their city, they come to Columbus first. So we get a lot of really good beer.
Subconsciously, you said Cleveland.
Well,
Like,
40,
because
40 and
what-
slip.
40
Sure
and
good.
slip and 40s that I like it. Cleveland's terrible.
ooh,
Hey, man.
don't say that.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I've been to Cleveland.
I,
You haven't
I would
been
never
to
go
Cleveland.
again.
I lived in Cleveland. Come
I'm
on.
so sorry.
Well, we didn't live in Cleveland.
We didn't
I shouldn't say
live in
that.
We're from Cleveland. We ain't never lived there. So. That's kind of how it is.
Bitch.
Because if anyone asks, where are you from? Cleveland. What part? 40 miles east. Not even close.
There's a scale down. Where you from? Ohio. Well, where? Cleveland. Well, I'm from Cleveland too. Where? Well, Painesville. Oh, I lived in Painesville too. Well, Concord Township. There's like 5 of us.
And you weren't the fourth, so get the fuck out of here. No, there is a breakdown. Everyone says, where are you from? Ohio, yeah. And then it's one of the 3 big cities or Dayton.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
outside of
learned that-
oh, you wouldn't know. You'd never heard of it.
I learned that
You've
college
never heard
years, trying to explain to people. But
No, I
Washington
enjoyed
courthouse?
Belgium.
Why is it called a courthouse? Well, it's a city that they call a courthouse. I don't know.
that doesn't make any sense.
Brewhouse.
I've never been to Belgium,
Bart,
and I don't trust his judgment.
My
so-
bus driver was from Belgium. His name was Bus. Bus, the bus driver. He drove us all throughout Europe.
Who the
not-
fuck
but not
names their
Belgium?
child Bus?
He was a fucking happy human being.
You sure it wasn't
Bus,
Gus?
did
And
you
he just
just-
didn't know how to say his
No,
name?
his name was Bus. It's like, Bus, did you just run into that fucking building? Yep. Oh, great.
So
You just hit that old lady.
He was like the Pillsbury Doughboy meets Cher.
Nice. Great.
Nice.
What's the other Rogue One thing you wanted to bring up while
What
we're
was
on
it?
the topic of Star Wars and stuff?
The
novel?
Catalyst.
Yeah.
So,
Do you read the plot summary?
a little bit, yeah. So if you don't want to know it,
I know you can't read. So.
it's spoiler. Spoiler alert
Spoiler.
from the Catalyst book.
Spoiler.
This is going to be the
Spoiler.
prequel
Spoiler.
Prequel to
book
the
to,
prequel.
to Rogue One. So, spoiler. And this isn't going to get into too many specifics, but it's kind of the breakdown. So the Urso family, including Jin, her father, and the mother, had friendly ties with Orson Krennic, who is the Empire motherfucker in the white suit, and that's we've seen in every trailer.
Yep.
So they're friends with this dude. Krennic saves the Urso family at one point. That's what I'm assuming when you see them walking through the grass. He's saving,
That's when they're
taking.
storming his house
Well,
and taking him away
Regardless,
to work on the fucking thing.
Think about this. So, at one point, Krennic saves the Urso family. So they're in his debt. So the dad, Graylin, Urso, whatever, LaChifra.
Yeah. I'm gonna call him that. What's his name in goddamn Doctor Strange?
Oh, LaChifra.
Guys!
But before we get there, let's stay on track. So the Urso family is in debt to Krennic. Krennic finds out that Galen has ideas about future technologies. So basically, he forces and or talks Galen into helping him out. Galen didn't know that Krennic was gonna twist his technology into something evil.
Right.
Galen actually thought, I don't know, it could have been like a mining operation. Let's use these lasers that get into the fucking things and we'll help out the galaxy. Oh, sounds great. And you get into building this shit and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna blow that shit up. And you're like, what the whoa? Like kind of like the fucking. So this is why I like Star Wars, because it pulls from history.
Wait, you like Star Wars?
History?
Never heard of it.
Pulls from history?
Historically, it pulls from history. So think about this. So we already
Son
have
Jesus, right?
It is. Wait.
Anakin.
Dude, exactly. Anakin and Jesus, Mother Mary, Virgin Shmi. Love it. Done. Pull from history.
I heard something fascinating.
But
I'll bring it up later.
let me finish this.
I know.
So it's kind of the idea
Remind me of the fascinating thing that I have to bring up later.
with the atom bomb in World War II.
Yeah.
These refugees from Germany run over and create this technology. Now, did they know what they were building immediately? I think not. But when it came to, a lot of people started quitting the Manhattan Project, which was the plan to
Build the atom bomb.
build the atom bomb. So it could be the same kind of thing. You know, this guy comes on board, helps out a couple other people, and they're like, let's fucking do this. Start building it, and then Krennic's like, yeah, that's great.
And then slowly but surely, he's realized that he's actually a prisoner.
So the whole book supposedly is about his out. The Urso family is trying to get out of that because you can't just walk away.
Right.
Krennic's got just a stranglehold on him.
That's really interesting.
So I hope that wasn't a big spoiler because I don't know anything about the book outside of that, but I think that gives you kind of the premise of what's happening.
That's a plot summary of the book.
Yeah, and then this kind of just obviously goes straight into
Like that's
whatever.
what would be on like the little inside leaflet.
Yeah, so that was the gist of it.
The gin of it.
Oh. we do have one last thing that we really have to Sate Prestige. This character,
Sure, it's not prestige.
Pestige. I even added an R. Pestige.
I was gonna say
Prestige.
prestige worldwide, wide.
Boats and hoes. Gotta have me some prestige.
Black leather gloves. Say prestige. Yeah, talk about him.
Bring them up.
Okay.
Look on Wikipedia.
Okay. We're gonna do this.
This is okay. Before we do this, I want to preface.
Sate
Prestige. So the first picture I saw, and this might be a huge spoiler. The first picture I saw, I was just like, Snoke. Boom. What? How is that not Snoke? What? Are you kidding me? Look at that dude. So let me give you the
If
long.
you're listening, obviously you can't see, but go look him up.
Let me give you the long and the short of it. Canon and non-canon, or what do they call it? Legends. He is an emissary to Chancellor Palpatine. He is one of the very few, including Maz Amedda.
He's a Grand Vizier.
He's one of the few that actually knows who the fuck Palpatine is.
Yeah.
So with that said, and he does a lot with Maz Amedda. So I think there might be something in there. What? Maz Amedda.
Yeah.
Maz Amedda's the order. We shall have order.
Yeah.
With the
So
blue
he's
fucking face.
working closely with him. Saint Pestage. Look how fucking Snoke.
There's something really powerful
I
here.
don't see that it looks like Snoke, though. Nothing really looks like Snoke because I've only
Really?
seen it as a hologram.
The only thing
That's
he's
Snoke.
missing is a scar right
No,
here.
it's not.
That's
Yeah, it
Snoke.
is.
No, it's not.
I
Look
think
at his face. His face is whole.
it's
Snoke's
also a
face is
cartoon.
like 9.5 like scars, and he's a fucking hologram.
Oh, it's also maybe that was before you got the scars.
Yeah.
It might
There's,
be,
um,
but so is fucking Palpatine's face. Anybody's face could be before scars.
No.
Like those scars are so deep because he's bald and he has a deep chin. That's your basis for this assumption.
No,
Wow, we're just talking shit, man. It's a podcast. There's
I know that, but like,
hold on.
okay, I'm sorry. The first question you should ask is it plausible? Maybe.
There's nothing plausible. It's somebody made this shit up. It's all drunk around.
So is this
there's
under,
something
is this
interesting
under the
here.
canon?
This is Wikipedia. Yeah.
Can we confirm that? This
Yeah.
is Legends.
Wait, what?
You didn't click the canon.
God damn it.
There's
Good job, Disney. Fuck.
So what I was talking about is
Great,
the appearances.
so-
Okay, stop. The appearances are the Tarkin book, which is canon, which
Yeah.
came out not too long ago.
Yeah.
The fact that that was his first appearance and then Catalyst, the most recent, I feel like they're building towards something. This guy's more important than we think. And I'm getting scared. He basically has the same background, it's just not in depth.
All right. Yes, exactly. So in the canon, it says after the rise of the Galactic Empire, Pistage was a member of the Imperial Ruling Council during Emperor Palpatine's reign. So that lines up pretty closely with what it says in Legends.
Yeah.
The big thing that stood out to me
Go back up.
was what?
It just and one of the few people who truly knew him as Sidious. So
The big thing that stood out to me was after Palpatine's death at the Battle of Endor, as the highest surviving member of the Imperial Court, Pistage assumed control of Coruscant and the Empire as interim emperor. So, if you've noticed, especially with the whole controversy of Kylo Ren's real name being Ben and Ben being one of the solo names, etc., it doesn't seem like they're shy in
That's fine. I got it.
pulling out legend stuff to put into canon. So what it sounds like when I flip back and forth between the canon and the legends tab on this guy's profile on Wikipedia, it seems to me that they are taking his actual legends biography and working it into the new canon.
That'd be good.
And it sounds like he's very high ranking. I mean, under Palpatine, you have Vader, who's off to one side because he's like a Sith apprentice,
Moff.
and then you have all the politicians. Tarkin,
Well,
Maz Amedda, this guy.
Is Tarkin a true politician? I would put him. So I think there's three.
Military.
You've got military,
Yeah.
political,
Yeah.
army.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Because
army
these guys
and-
don't go
I
out
just
and fucking battle.
named.
They sit on Coruscant and talk shit with Palpatine.
I just said army, political,
Battle.
And military.
and military.
You
I just
said
named
army-
Vader. I just
army,
named
poli-
Vader military. So killer,
makes sense.
army, and
Yeah.
political.
This is really intriguing, man. I'm gonna have to look up what he did in Tarkin. There was a few mentions in Tarkin of when he goes to Coruscant to meet with Palpatine, and Palpatine has all these advisors and shit like that. We've also talked about those goofy Wizard of Oz looking motherfuckers in Episode 6 when Vader takes the elevator up to Palpatine's chambers in the Death Star, and he's meeting with those like two random people.
Yeah,
When Vader shows up, they leave.
yeah,
How do we not like?
dude. They could be really
Because he kind
pulling
of looks
shit.
like that without the fucking hat. They have those giant
That's
Russian
true.
hats that look like those
That's true.
people from Wizard of Oz. Like,
God, what if they act, dude? I would honestly be
All right,
fine.
so-
I'd be fine with that. If
So-
this dude
this
ended
guy
up
just
being
lurks
Snoke,
up from the legends.
but
and-
he's right fucking there in the fucking background the whole time.
But what?
that's
so
really
good.
intriguing.
All right.
Do it.
Intrigue me.
It's not going to intrigue you.
All right, you failed.
I love where you guys are going with this, but like, what about the people who created it? What did they intend?
People.
People.
Who
Single
created
person.
What? The storyline?
No, people. It was not just Lucas. He had
Lucas-
people who helped him build this universe.
I really don't think so.
What's the beautiful thing about?
No.
I think people added to it.
Sorry. For episodes 4, 5, and 6, he had people. And then after that, it was just Lucas. But like, the universe was not created by himself. And so you have the consideration, the intent. Like, yeah, you can draw from that.
So what are you getting at?
It goes
I'm just
so
saying,
far.
like, like that's an interesting idea, but like at the same time, no.
It goes
Like,
so far
that's-
beyond that. though.
They were just like characters there to kind of add depth to the story without
we're-
adding any real depth to the story.
But we're
like, it's
at
like,
the
it's like we
point
don't
that-
want to be like two actors in a room walking there. Like you want to have guards, but then the guards are dismissed. Like that's
But
it.
we're
And
at the
that's
point
end of
that
it.
those
It
guards
goes-
could matter.
It goes way far beyond that.
Do you think
though.
those guards are going to become
Snoke.
Sith masters?
He's not a Sith.
That's what I'm saying. Is like if you look
He's
at the
not
original
a Sith.
story and that.
It goes way beyond
not a
Lucas.
Sith.
No,
beautiful
Snoke is
thing-
not a Sith.
He's not.
Why?
No.
He's just a dark side dude. Probably because he was so pissed off he was number 2 in the fucking dark side
But
line.
if he was
No,
number,
he's number
2,
3.
would that not make
got a
him
lot
a
of-
Sith?
we got
Is
a lot
that
of stuff to
not
tackle.
like what becomes the Sith? Is the second? Is the 1 and 2?
The Sith died when Palpatine and Vader died. There was no one to it into the next one.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Go.
And that's
Sure,
the
sure,
interesting, intriguing thing about this guy's backstory is that it sounds like he was second
there.
or third advisor to Palpatine, saw what was going on, knows what partially of his plans are, knows that he was a Force user, but he himself is not a Sith. But that doesn't mean that he can't take all of that information that he's gathered and put it into action.
You never know. Maybe even Sidious was like,
Yeah.
Vader's fucking around doing his own thing. I can't really trust him. By the way, this is how you do this, and
Well,
this.
we've already-
Maz Ahmed is old as fuck.
It's legends now, but we already know that that's happened because he had assassins like Mara Jade on the side. You know what I mean? Just contingency
Well,
plans.
look at Starkiller. Yeah, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point to Lucas and his plans, I think there's a really cool thing about art like this where it's Lucas's concept. He created Star Wars.
Sure.
He pretty much did episode 4 by himself, and he had a lot to say with the creation of the universe. But we're so far past that now. Like his impact on the universe as a whole
Right.
is small compared to the
And
overall
I'm not,
scope of
and
it.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
He set the
I think
setting up.
You're
He set it
completely
up,
right, and I
yeah.
think that the things that come after we should respect. But what you're talking about is essentially guards that left the
These
room
aren't guards.
in a tiny space or whatever. But like they had such a small role.
But maybe they didn't.
You don't know what role they had because they don't talk. You don't see them talking to Palpatine.
But
You
their
don't see their
Vader comes
meetings.
up.
their existence. Do you think that they left and escaped the Death Star? Like they were just like, we're gonna leave. Like, oh no, something bad's gonna happen because Palpatine has a bad feeling.
Luke
like,
was
as a
on the Death
they
Star.
contingency plan. Like the fact that they would leave and escape that. Like
Luke was on the Death Star with Vader as he was dying and it was blowing up, and he still escaped and made a funeral for his daddy.
sure,
So the fact that a few well-trained
but
assassin
he has
guards.
character protection and sword protection.
Well, exactly. So there you
but-
go. Well, if they're writing this guy into the canon, then he has character protection too, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
And that's fine. But do you really think that these characters made
It doesn't matter if we
20
think
years
or not.
ago were written into the canon and it was an
No,
intentional thing?
no. I don't think it was written. I think you're right. 40 years ago when this shit was brand new, these guys were just nobodies. But now we have Saint Pestage in these 2 canon books now that may just accidentally line up with these 2 fucks
touch
walking
on it.
out.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. They did not set it up years ago. This is something that we're setting this guy up, and he could just potentially be that one dude in the original trilogy that walks out that you don't even fucking pay attention to. They did not set this up. I
You're
can
right.
tell you that right now.
No, no, no,
And
no,
tomorrow,
no, no,
and I
no.
can tell you yesterday, I've foreseen it in my past, bitch. No, I haven't. I just got hammered.
It's
and
confusing,
forgot.
but also awesome. And yeah, man, it's
great.
It's limitless right now.
I
The
hope-
universe is limitless, and it's we've mentioned this before. We're pissed that they canceled the expanded universe, but that's because at the time that they canceled it, the only thing on our plates was episode 7, and that's it.
Yeah.
Since that point,
Wait. What do you mean by that?
like when they announced it, like the Legends is Legends, it's not canon. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Yeah.
This is
And then all we had was episode
From now
7.
on,
Well,
like whatever we say
and
is
the movies.
canon will be.
And
all
the
the
other
movies.
movies. Yeah, and so we're pissed, but as time goes
They're
on, we
shoving
get
shit.
Rogue One's in there. We have all these novels in there, all these comic book series about Leia, Lando, Chewie,
Rebels.
Vader, Rebels.
Yeah.
I mean, there's spin-offs coming out of fucking nowhere. So I
you-
think it's balancing itself out.
You've seen Game of Thrones?
How dare you?
Yes.
Is that a yes question mark or a yes like only
It
to
was
the season
yes,
3?
like multiple times.
Okay. So what are you guys' thoughts on Khaleesi being in the Han Solo movie?
I didn't know that, but that's
Yeah.
fine. She's a great actress. Like she's a great
got-
actress, and she's hot as fuck. Like it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
I'm excited, man. I think she's a I don't I hate-
She has a range of emotion. If you watch her, like she's a good actress. I think she's a good actress.
I don't think she's a great actress, but
Who's a
she's
great
hot.
actress?
I don't know. Child Anakin?
I can't really
Yes.
say
Diane
because
Anakin's a great actress.
I've only seen Amelia
Turns to
Clark.
be a huge asshole. So.
I've only seen Amelia Clark in one thing, so I can't say if she's a good
That's
actress or
it.
not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've
she's
seen her play
Khaleesi.
a range of emotion, and she does a good job.
She rides a dragon like a fucking boss.
She sits on a
Animation
green
writes
something like a
someone like you can
boss.
sit on something and they can animate it around you. But like the dramatic scenes, she has a good range of emotion. I think she's a good actress. I think she'll do a good job.
Character and actor announcements for movies like the spin-offs don't mean much until we know what's actually happening. Like the fact that there's gonna be a Han Solo movie is intriguing.
It's
And now
the
that we
best
know
thing
who the
ever.
actor that's gonna be Han Solo, that makes sense. The fact
We've
that
got
we
Han, Lando.
know that Donald Glover is gonna be the new Lando, that makes sense.
Sounds
Just
like-
saying Amelia Clark, we don't know what her role is, so it's not good or bad. It just doesn't really mean anything. I mean, I'm obviously excited about the movie anyways. But like not knowing what her character is going to be, if she's picked for a particular part for a particular reason, we don't know. So like she's a good actress, fine,
Yeah.
but like there's no real value there until we know what her character is going to be.
You've watched Stranger Things finally?
No,
What?
still
Terrible
haven't
human
watched
being.
it.
Oh, it's so good.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh, it's so good.
I spent time watching all of seasons of Game of Thrones again.
Dude, there's 8 episodes.
All right, well, I'll
That
start it
is
tomorrow,
all.
man.
That's the entire Stranger Things.
I'll start it
They're
tomorrow.
normally like a half hour or 35 minutes.
We'll start it tomorrow.
It's
Finish
it,
it. Just
it's
finish it tomorrow.
While I drink this photon.
So
Two
what I
more
wanted to
six-packs.
say is, since you've seen Stranger Things, this kid Finn Wolfhard, which is the main character, Eleven's closest friend, the dark-haired kid,
Yeah.
not the black kid, not the toothless kid.
I know the kid.
Not the
Does
crow
he
kid.
not look like a
Oh,
young?
you posted that. Yeah, absolutely.
I saw that.
Yeah. So
like
this kid's
baby Kylo.
yeah. So it would be like a
Han Solo, if they did it in the Han Solo,
well, no, not even that. Just like a flashback. If you're in episode 8 and you need a young
Oh, or a
Kylo
flashback. Yeah.
or a young Ben Solo, Finn, what the fuck's going on, buddy? Fucking sign me up. So guys, go check out Finn Wolfhard. It sounds as good as it sounds bad. But he looks like a young Adam Driver. I think you could really play that off.
Yeah.
Furry as fuck.
It looked
pissed
like
off.
him for sure. Two things we missed quickly in the chat. Ren was talking about what Wizard of, or excuse me, I said Ren.
Jarno.
I just have the Rogue One event in my head. Jarno said, what Wizard of Oz dudes in episode 6 when Palpatine's on the Death
just
Star.
go to Wizard of Oz. What Wizard of Oz dudes are you talking about?
Yeah, when Vader is coming up to Palpatine's chambers.
Go to Wizard of Oz.
What are you talking about?
Like which people in Wizard of Oz were you referring to? Because I had no fucking clue what you were talking about when you
Shit,
said that.
man.
I know who you're talking about in Star Wars, but when you said Wizard of Oz dudes, I'm like, who the fuck? They're just tall, like temple
I think it's
diplomats.
the helmets that the witches' soldiers were wearing. The tall, black, like furry Russian fucking hats that they were wearing.
Yeah.
Is what reminded me of it.
Maybe I probably even said Wizard of Oz motherfuckers during the commentary.
Yes, probably, yes.
But yeah, I didn't know who you were talking about either. So it's just because they had like crazy hats and they had like a small, simple head, but their fucking shit was all over the
Well,
place.
just like human, just like pale gray looking.
But
with
it
those
was
fucking hats on.
It was when he was presenting Luke to the Emperor.
When Vader came up with Luke, Palpatine was talking to these guys,
And they don't say
dismiss them. They don't
Yeah.
say a thing. Yeah,
He didn't even dismiss
Palpatine
them.
didn't even say anything too.
He just
It's
goes,
like Vader pops out and
He's
they-
here.
Yeah.
When Emperor looks away, just fucking run.
When Emperor looks away. Yeah.
The Emperor.
I had one really interesting conversation.
You said you have two things.
I did. Oh yeah. So Jason with Sidetracked on YouTube was talking about it's very much like Rex being the old rebel soldier on Endor.
Yeah,
so
but
this
Rex is
whole
programmed in
this whole
bullshit.
fact that these characters that we know can either be
Wait, say that again?
Rex the clone
Yeah.
captain.
They sort of feel, or
Being
he
a rebel
started to
soldier on
discover
Endor.
that the shit was.
He's supposed to
Programmed.
be a rebel soldier on Endor.
Jason, tell us. It sounds
Wait,
like a
really?
theory.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah,
But the
I don't
whole
see
thing
why
about
it
how
could
like
be.
a whole sect of clones left.
Just pulling
defected.
shit, dude. I love the linkage. It could be a Marvel connection across fucking 4 decades.
Yeah, there's
of
no reason that you
movies.
can't connect it. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to make. I mean, not that it doesn't make sense, but it could. They could make it make sense.
Doesn't have
If
to
you
make
find
sense.
enough holes and the story's right.
Well, if the story isn't there, they could just create it. Like the whole Satan, Snoke, and Oz people. Satan, Snake, Moe's people. What the fuck happened? What did we give the last beer? What was the last
3.
beer?
We didn't say anything, but I'm gonna
that
say
was
3.
the Rectifier from
Yeah.
Force
Oh,
Drake.
yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
say
a 3.
Yeah.
It's a good beer.
That was a really good beer.
I'll give it a 3. Or
Do you have any-
2.9.
do you have
I'll
any
give
other-
it 2.99.
There's no points.
It's a 3.
It's a 3 then.
Yeah.
That's a 3. Yeah. It's a
was a-
3. That's
that's
a
a great-
motherfucking 3.0.
By the way, where'd you get this bag at?
There's no
It
points.
looks
Kroger.
very, very gay, and then it's got hops.
Yeah, I got it at Kroger. It's actually, I think, supposed to be like asparagus or some shit.
Looks like a beer bag.
It does-
Those look like hops.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
right?
cooled. It's got like the
Yeah.
It's a cooler bag.
Thermal insulator.
It was like $6. That's
broken.
$6
That's why
I've
it was
ever
$6.
spent.
It's
That's
broken.
funny because unless you've like brewed beer, you wouldn't expect that to be anything but asparagus
Yeah.
or artichoke. That's what
Artichoke.
that is.
Artichoke, yeah.
That's probably what it's supposed to be.
Who the fuck buys that many artichokes though?
Nobody ever.
Gotta carry it out.
Those are hops.
Thank you.
Who buys that much hops?
Why does
put a
hops,
lot of beer in
artichokes, and
here.
asparagus all look the same? Mm-hmm.
It's a theory. It's your own theory. I don't think they look the same.
Are you run out of topics over there, Mopar?
No, I think we hit them all.
I got one stupid philosophical conversation to have. And
I
that's
think
it.
we hit them all. Princess Leia's a hoe.
10 out of 10.
What were the
Wait,
other ones?
Princess Leia or Carrie Fisher? Turns out
Both.
both.
Turns out confirmed. What else did we talk about? Yeah, the Rogue One stuff.
Good to go.
The Rogue One Knights of Ren and Rogue One character compilation CD that you're going to be coming up with.
Since we seem to be on the philosophical Star Wars train, I have one more thing to bring up. Somebody on Twitter was asking what determines or how do you determine when a child is force sensitive?
When they
Side
do
of
something
it.
with the Force.
How do you determine, well, just in a more general sense, like how do you what decides when a child is
Obviously,
force
the
sensitive?
holocron decides.
What
Because
decides
the
when
Jedi holocron
a
tells you what it is.
what decides when a force sensitive parent has a non-force sensitive child?
Jedi holocron?
Like just this philosophy of just like randomly across the
Emotion.
galaxy, certain people have more midichlorians.
Emotion.
And they happen to be more force sensitive.
I think it's all emotion.
Well,
Just think about how emotional Anakin was, and he just happened to be the strongest human being. But that doesn't stand up
but
because
what comes first, though?
But that doesn't stand up because Yoda had like negative emotion, and he was like the second.
He was
second
trained
strongest.
for like hundreds of years to be calm as fuck, though.
Well, to your point about Anakin, though, wouldn't you say that the midichlorians, as we were explaining in episode 1, they're part of your chemistry as a human being? So doesn't that happen when you're born before you develop a personality of a particular
So
type?
if you were,
Can you gain
like
midichlorians?
forced- so if you were
doubt
like,
it.
if you were Master Yoda or someone else, couldn't you be able to like meditate for a while and sort of see the universe and
Level
where
up.
those- No,
Oh,
where those force sensitivities were, because they kind of had a little scene where they like meditated and figured out where they were trying to steal the younglings
babies from?
the babies, yeah.
Yes, but that's
And
not
so
my
like,
question.
couldn't you be?
My question is, what in the universe determines which children are going to be born with more midichlorians to be force
does.
sensitive?
The force
whoa, whoa.
determines that. No. The force determines that. The
Yeah.
only answer for that is the force determines it.
Okay, so from that,
No one can know the true nature of the force, or else there wouldn't be a dark or light side. It would
where
just be the
is
force?
where is the force determining these things from? What
Based
is
on
to
current
say?
events.
But what
It's
is
the
to
best
say?
question I've ever heard.
One person who happens to be born with more midichlorians to be a Jedi could turn evil,
But
as
what you're-
opposed to some other person that could be born in particular
what you're
circumstances to be a
essentially
good person,
asking
and
is
if they had
where is
more
this-
midichlorians.
Where is the source of the force? That's basically the same question. It's like, where does the
Well, I'm
source
just saying
come from?
how not
Like
where the force comes from.
because the same determination of whether it is if you believe in the force determines it. Where does the source come from? Like, where does the force exist?
Not even where it comes from, though. It's what determines why certain human beings, or I guess not even human beings, any species, ends up with enough midichlorians to be force sensitive and control the force. What determines that as opposed to not?
I think it's the force searching for an equilibrium, and there's such a fluctuation at all points.
So is that random?
Not
random.
specifically. I think the force chooses what needs to happen.
So if it's not random, my question is, how does it choose that? And why
well,
does it choose that?
It doesn't choose. It does what needs to be done to equalize. The issue is
why does it do that?
The issue is emotion. Well, we hate them. Why? They're different. And then they kill them. And then the force is like, well, that species is gone. We need to fucking save all the other species. We'll light side this midichlorian dude. But think about it. Because my answer's based off of the Plagueis book. Plagueis and Sidious were becoming so fucking strong. And everything was becoming true. Every fucking thing. That the force was like, even with all these Jedi, they are screwed. I'm gonna be bloop, there's an Anakin. And even though it's gonna take a fucking crazy revolution for that to happen, it still happens. And that's what that's what needed to happen.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the pull of the dark side is the force. I think the pull of the dark side is evil users of the force.
I would agree with that.
I don't think you fall to the dark side of the force. I think you fall to the people around you and the people that influence you using the dark side of the force. If you're just a dude out in the middle of nowhere, you're not just going to all of a sudden get mad and kill things. I really don't think that's going to happen. Now, if you were on Kashyyyk,
Well, if you are extremely force sensitive and you don't realize it, and you are overcome with emotions to a certain point,
but what's
then
going to
that
make
might
you
happen?
What's going to make you overcome with emotion?
If you're a farmer and someone kills your entire family and
Well,
you don't
then you
realize
are
that you have the force, then you fucking
Then you were
murder
overcome
you.
by hatred. I don't care if you. I think everyone's force sensitive to a point. Whether you can do things, I think the difference is whether you can do things with it or not.
I
think
wouldn't say
that's
do
the
things. I would
difference.
say whether you're able to manipulate it or not, or control it.
Use
or
it.
not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
even say
think-
control. Like use.
I think someone like Poe Dameron is force sensitive, but he can't do shit. He can just like.
I wouldn't say force sensitive then, because everything does have. If we take midichlorians and consider it a part of like biology or chemistry,
All living
then
things.
everything has midichlorians.
All
It's just to
living
a
things.
certain point where you can manipulate it or not.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a play on words. Like, can you manipulate it or use it? What's the difference? Where's the gray area?
Well, no, I think
because I think
manipulating it-
Poe Dameron's a skilled pilot and fighter. Like that isn't.
but supposedly he is supposed to be force sensitive.
But why? Because he's skilled and has really
No,
natural
because-
reflexes. I don't think that's a correlation that needs to be separated.
there is a
I
background.
think that's a fine line. We don't know the background is just bullshit made up right now, though.
No, it's
Or have
confirmed.
they done comics?
The
I didn't know that.
if he's, well,
I don't
I guess we don't know, but if he's strong enough with the force that it gives him
He just doesn't have
faster reflexes and more intuition, but it's not strong enough that he knows it's actually happening,
all I'm
then
saying
he
is
is just a
like,
good
you can
pilot.
also have those things without being force sensitive.
Well-
there's
Whoa,
not
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
only
whoa.
reason you can be a skilled in the universe.
I just figured
That's
it
all
out.
I'm saying.
Just figured it out, guys.
Mopar's got a religion. Let's
Oh,
go.
there we go. Star Wars.
When you're,
Unraveled.
it's like human beings with language. You have like a 5-year period that you are fucking God with language. You can literally from like 0 to 5 years old, you can learn as much language.
it's
You can learn like
2 to 7.
3 or 4 languages like that. Once you get to the 5 to 15, it's like double as hard. And then once you get beyond that, it's near impossible unless you like go
Yeah.
live somewhere. And I think that might be the same way with the Force. Like Poe Dameron, he's force sensitive. He's extra special. But because he didn't learn the shit from 0 to 10 years old, now he just can like
It has an
It-
effect on his actions,
like,
but he
yeah.
can't control it.
Exactly. He never learned that extra step to be like, hey, Force, go blow that
Right,
dude up.
right.
So you're
I wanna
welcome.
move this
Jason-
ship. I just lifted it up.
Jason says, based on what you were talking about, when the force decides who's going to be force sensitive to balance it out, he says, yeah, the force balances itself. But my question to that is, like, what's to say that the force might try to balance itself out and making some new being force sensitive? What's to stop that being from going evil? What's to stop
Or
that
good.
person from being a
Goes
good
both ways,
person
Like, yeah.
or falling to the dark side? Like, what
They-
if?
I don't
What,
think
like,
it
what
knows.
if the force?
I don't think it knows. I think it just, hey, what I really think is there was like 400 Anakins
Well, that's the point of the
that were produced and then Watto sold off and they were killed in a pod race and we'll try again.
That sounds so silly, though.
I think there's a limited amount of energy that the Force can like use.
Oh, we don't know, though.
Well, maybe it's based off of the amount of beings. Death Star blew something up. There's a huge opportunity. Let's throw something fucking strong in here and mix it up.
Galaxy of thousands of planets. It's like 0.1%.
Well, what I'm thinking is the Starkiller base blowing up like 6 planets all at the same time is gonna spark something, and I think that's why it's called the Force Awakens, because that murderous, which was so downplayed in the movie, because we didn't get any background of those 5 or 6 planets that were blown up, but that actually happening is stunning. And you're sitting there, and the Force is just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, we had the Emperor, we had Palpatine, and he didn't even come close to that.
Yeah.
That fucking just happened. So I think that's what the Force Awakens is about, is that happened, now the Force has to correct that.
I just think of what you were talking about.
Think about the number, though. Let's say, well, we're at
We don't know.
7. We're at 7 billion people on Earth. Let's just multiply that. I mean, not even close to a trillion.
We only saw one planet. Like, we saw 5 planets get blown up, but we only saw on the planet, we only saw one actual planet. Like, from the surface, you know what I mean?
Though you saw.
So those other 4 could have been uninhabited. You don't know.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm just saying.
No, that was the group.
You don't know.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Because in our solar system, only one planet has life on it. You don't know.
Why would the First Order
I'm
use all
just
that energy to
saying
blow
you
up nothing?
Don't know.
He's saying that the planets that were blown up by the Starkiller base, only one of them had life. Why would the First Order blow those planets
Oh yeah,
up?
well, it doesn't matter. They blew up an entire system, and like
Except
that
for the
alone,
system that
would be fucking terrifying
Now,
for every other system who opposes them, because it's not like, so they talk about systems
Turn it down
in Star Wars.
and just get closer.
Well,
Crank
that's
it
what
down.
they talk about. Like in Star Wars, they talk about systems.
My wife is
That's how they.
My
oh,
wife is
okay.
sleeping.
You have a wife?
I
What?
guess.
Marriage?
I didn't try. I don't know.
Marriage?
It just happened. All is as the Force wills it. Go ahead.
But they talk about systems in Star Wars. That's how they talk about it. Like it's not like a planet. They talk about the Alderaan system or their whatever. They talk about it in systems, and systems are not a single planet. It's the Alderaan.
I agree with you. I'm just saying we
cause a
only
more-
saw the surface of one of those planets.
Well, maybe
You're right.
okay.
so
no,
you don't really
I'm
know.
about to try to
But,
agree
it
with
doesn't
you.
matter. But like it doesn't matter whether there's life or not.
Trying
Like,
to
they
agree
destroy
with
a
you.
whole fucking
Thanks, guys.
system to the planet.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Like your
So,
opinion is wrong. Sorry.
What was the system name?
Hosnian system.
The Hosnian system. So maybe the First Order just said, or just knows, they have to know more. Fuck that. I was gonna say maybe they just know that the New Republic is in the Hosnian system, so they just blew the whole Hosnian
thing
system
up.
just to cover their bases. But
Only
they
issue with
had to have-
that
they had to have known.
is that they
Fuck
purposely didn't blow up the system that Kylo happened to be on.
Mazamet or Maz Kanata. Mazameta? Maz Kanata.
Kanata.
Yeah, I think they're smart enough that they blew up
That's fine.
specific
I know.
planets
Yeah, that's
for
fine. That's
specific
fine.
reasons.
That's fine.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
My whole point with the philosophy conversation is that I think your point with the mystery last week we talked about
The mystery, of Star
of
Wars.
the original trilogy and how the prequels were a lot more explained and like scientific, maybe you would say.
Yeah.
The mystery of it is that we don't know what the fuck the Force is, what the Force wants, what the Force is planning, if it can even consciously plan something, or if it's
It just reacts.
involved
Reactionary.
in like
Yeah.
the biology of the entire universe.
But it controls everything, which is crazy.
But maybe it doesn't control it. Maybe
Doesn't
it's just
control it.
there
It exists.
and it exists
It
in things,
flows
and
through
people
everything.
are controlling it.
So this is going to sound very,
Dangerous.
very ignorant to some people, and it's going to let people know how I feel about things. But it's like how God's viewed on Earth. Like, oh, he controls all, and
I
then
don't think that's how God's viewed though. From every
I think
point
it
of view.
is from certain people's point of view. He controls everything. So
Well, every culture has a story of God.
yeah,
Or multiple gods.
But pull that and apply it to the Star Wars universe.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
The Force.
You
They
can't
don't-
know what its plan is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're
If
not
it has
putting
a
a
plan or it exists as a
they're not putting a character
omnipotent
to it.
being.
They're not
Right.
putting a being to it.
Right.
They're just calling it like an energy, an
Right.
overlying energy, and it controls everything, regardless whether you believe in
It
it
doesn't,
or
no,
not.
No. At no point does it
It changes
control
things. Yes,
everything.
yes, it does.
And I don't think it's one thing where it becomes just like the Force controls everything. It's more like the Force flows and connects.
I don't-
everything.
well, that's what I'm trying to
It's
kind of
this
figure
level
out
of
with this question.
interconnectedness. So like whether you're good or evil, the Force doesn't have a greater plan. The Force
I think it does have a greater
wants
plan.
to become or is part of the flow of everything, and this good
wait.
and evil and this balance is sort of just something that naturally happens.
Well, that's the whole point of my question. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Does it actually control things? Is it
does.
able to control,
It really does. I think that
manipulate,
people
do
control
stuff,
it and
or is
use
it
it
just
for
a
their
force
own-
that is there and open for other people to use it for
No.
their advantage?
It's like Hitler. Hitler is not the one going out killing people directly, but he is controlling everything. That's how that's crazy. That's how I see the Force, is like a Hitler or like a Palpatine, where Palpatine, we haven't seen him kill shit. He doesn't do a fucking thing, but he's controlling everything. So I think it's like one step above Palpatine, where if the Force really wanted it, the Force isn't directly going to kill Palpatine,
Okay,
but he's going to allow Palpatine to die.
But
It.
But Force lightning, Force choke, Force push, like all these powers are done by manipulating the Force,
Right.
not by manipulating
that
people.
makes total sense.
And so, like, it's this interconnectedness. It's this something
All living things.
that connects everything. And so like the Force is not an omnipotent being. It doesn't have a consciousness. It's something that exists.
I think it does think.
It might.
And
That's
the
what I'm
only
trying to
time
figure
that
out. It might.
The only time that it ever comes up as it being existence is with Anakin. Is that it created him. But other than that,
not
there's
necessarily.
never an idea of a plan. Like a balance in the Force is strictly a Jedi idea. It never comes up outside the Jedi. The Sith
Not
don't
in
believe
episodes
the
2
balance.
through 5. No, it doesn't come up.
But no, like this idea of balance is only strictly
I'm not even
created
talking about
through
balance.
Jedi.
I'm not even talking about balance.
No,
I'm
but
talking
I am.
about.
I'm saying there's like the balance. So like balance of the Force is only a Jedi concept. It's the only time it ever comes up. Other than that, like the Force just exists.
Well,
And
that's
it's
one
something
interpretation.
That's manipulated as a force,
Yeah.
as you and I would manipulate the air around us or pushing each other.
Right, that's one interpretation of
physical kind
some
of idea.
entity. But I'm not even talking about the balance. I'm talking about the ability of the Force.
I don't think there
Force-
is an ability, though.
The Force doesn't have an ability. People have
You
the
don't know.
ability to touch the Force and manipulate the world around them because
But that's
the interconnectedness.
that's why it's so trippy.
How
That's
I
the
s-
whole point, because you don't know if the Force has the ability to manipulate things or not.
I think not directly. I think what the Force is a creator. It doesn't have any control beyond that. Anakin's here. I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do with him. I do think there is a sense of balance in the Force, and it's trying. We'll give this kid. I know Qui-Gon. Maybe he'll stumble upon that bitch, but I don't think beyond creating and knowing who's going to be Force sensitive and who's not.
Right.
Beyond that, I think the Force is used by people.
I mean, if we
Thank you guys for tuning in.
we done?
Yeah.
Probably.
All right.
No, it's a good crazy topic to end with
Yeah,
because
there's no
it'll
answer.
leave
There's no answer to this.
There is no answer.
it'll
At least
leave
not yet.
it'll leave our listeners in
we
mystery.
have 25 years before we know what the fuck the Force is.
We have
so.
no idea.
Actually, it probably happened tomorrow.
Thanks everyone, man.
2 weeks.
We appreciate you, men, women, and Twi'leks alike, for listening to the show.
Ewoks.
Especially
Ewoks.
Twi'leks. We love Twi'leks.
Thanks everyone for tuning into the live stream on Twitch and YouTube. Sounds like Facebook is going to be a bitch about it. We are on iTunes. We are on Stitcher. We are on Google Play.
So, guys, if you've gotten this far and you haven't yelled at us, first of all, a lot of you people and humans and Twi'leks come from Instagram. If you are leaving us comments, that shit disappears.
delicious.
No, it disappears. You
That's
got to
true.
realize if you have an account on Instagram and it's a decently sized account, you get the top 100 notifications. Even if we have 500 and the first 400 are comments about
5,000.
everybody loves us,
Yeah.
we only see the most recent 100.
Yeah.
So, with that said, please private message us on Instagram and or just send us an email like we got from our buddy Tugboat.
Adam Davis.
Adam Davis,
Mr. Tugboat
Captain.
we want to talk
motherfucker.
about your shit.
So, yeah, just tweet us, DM us, or email us roguesquadronpodcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, because we'd like to hear from you guys. And just knowing people from Alaska on a tugboat to Belgium are listening. It's
Jarno
awesome.
motherfuckers up here.
Jarno
man.
over here. Yell at
madness.
us at 4 a.m. Yerking it.
I love it.
So
It's awesome. So, yeah, just
awesome.
let us know. We are 15 days from Rogue One. Some people might say 16, but you know that shit comes out on
Jarno
a
might
Thursday.
say less.
He might say 13. So, you know that shit comes out on Thursday. So, if you're in Columbus, follow us on Facebook and stay aware of the events coming up on the 15th and the 17th of December surrounding Rogue One. Super excited about that. Obviously, if you're watching live, you can also check us out on iTunes. If you're only listening on iTunes, you can watch us live next week for the next episode on Twitch and YouTube at Rogue Squad Pod. We have a mobile app. Check it out, Rogue Squadron Podcast on the iTunes App Store. Coming to Android, maybe next century.
Store. iTunes? You said iTunes.
Did I say? Wait,
Apple App Store, right?
iTunes
Yeah.
App Store.
There's an app store.
Wait, it's
App
called
Store.
iTunes
No.
App Store?
iTunes Store. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's called an app store.
On the fucking App Store, man.
App store.
Look, it's
Bit.ly
called
/
the
Rogue Squad Pod
app.
app.
Store.
App store.
Store.
There's nothing
Okay.
in iTunes included.
Calm
And
the
as soon
fuck
as they
down,
get
everyone.
their shit together, it'll be on the
All is
the
as the Force wills
Google
it, man.
Play Store.
All is.
It's a story for another time.
As the from a certain point of view, Jesus Christ. Last thing, Star Wars Commonwealth. We are part of a greater group of podcasters. So follow us: Gen X-Wing, Tumbling Sabers, Skyhoppers, and Talk Star Wars. Hashtag SWC Pod. Hashtag SW Commonwealth. Hashtag Fuck Around. Hashtag official beer of the podcast is Photon from Actual Brewing.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Until next time.
Just talked a lot.
We have our buddy next time here.
Say hi.
No, actually
What
say
up?
bye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on, man.
What not up? I don't
What
know. I don't know how to
down?
go to- Peace out.
Simple instructions, man.
I am Mopar.
I am Commander Cody.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Oh. I gotta pee again.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, me too.
Holy shit.
All right, we're done. If you're live, we're still on air.
No. Still on air?
Well, I stopped the official podcast recording, but yes, we technically.
What the fuck? We're still on live.
Oh, you don't need to shout, Mr. Alex.
Oh. You need to put soundproof things on your door.
Yeah, there's no way to soundproof.
Just put it on your door.
There's no way to soundproof. Trust me.
That won't work. Just put it on the door.
There's no way to actually soundproof. So
But yeah, but it'll absorb most of it, right?
the things that I have, no. What they do is cut down on like the echo in the room.
Right.
They don't actually proof it from going outside of the room. In order to do that, you have to actually get like soundproof doors that go from floor to ceiling. You actually have to put material. I said material.
You did say
Material
material.
in the walls and stuff to soundproof
Are you
it.
drunk? I would
No.
hope so.
I was playing Game of Thrones, so I was
Well, drink-
thinking.
drink
I was
more of
thinking
this.
Martell. I said material.
You were playing? Game of
Everyone was
Thrones?
fucking up words.
Is there
Game of
a,
Thrones.
I was listening to you guys talk. You guys were fucked.
It's
I
hilarious.
said,
Game of Thrones card game.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
I said, what did I say? That was the worst was Java. It's called Java.
YouTube was fucked up.
That was right at the beginning.
Yeah. I wasn't even drunk
YouTube-
yet. I was just dumb.
They said it was fine.
YouTube chat. I'm pissed on YouTube chat.
Who said that? Kerner. He's always pissed.
Kerner's always
I'm trying to
mad.
watch on his fucking 1994 flip phone.
Kerner says he's pissed. It's a good thing. It means he's good to go. He always says he's pissed. Guys, if you're still watching, much appreciated. If there was any, actually, here's what.
Deadpoolio, what's up,
here's a
man?
good thing. Deadpoolio, man. Deadpoolio, Jarno, Jason, and Kerner. If there were any serious like technical issues with the stream, if you could email me, roguesquadronpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what those were so I can try to figure those out throughout the next week and make the stream better. I'm going to ditch Facebook Live because that was just a fucking hassle. But let me know. That would be awesome. And I'll try to fix it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting. I'm going to try to find a better way for us to view the chat because it's so small and I can't fucking see it. And the camera's pointing at Mopar and I'm drunk.
Jarno, let us know what the fuck's up. Deadpoolio, same thing.
Jarno, come
Email us. Let us know who the fuck you are, where you listening,
come,
what you like,
come
what
to
you
Ohio.
hate, where you're at. Yeah, we don't know who the fuck's listening. We've got 55,000 listens, and only like 3 people have said hey, and like it's not just us 3 listening to the goddamn thing. So.
Yeah.
I actually don't listen to it, so
Not anymore.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
I mean, I
Alright, guys.
listen to like portions of it.
Portions.
Quarter portions. Good night.